KCCU.com. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media station.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
It's playoff time. I'm somewhat happy today. Our guy Dragon Ball, who's not here today, he's off. He is probably not real happy today.
Beachcoff back to York. York Arista. Cam York from distance. And the Flyers are on their way to the second round. And it's a beautiful thing.
All my folks in Philly, they're real happy, though, about what transpired last night. The Flyers, who had opened that series against the Quaker State rivalry series with a 3-zip lead, and then kind of farted away a couple games, and everybody was starting to get a little nervous, I would imagine, in Philadelphia, as they do. Speaking of that game was in Philadelphia, as you could tell by the crowd. You got to love Philly fans. We've talked about Philly fans a lot on this show because I have connections to Philadelphia. The Phillies fired their manager this week. Topper? Come on, man. Topper got fired. So a bunch of Phillies were at the game last night. They showed them on the Jumbotron, and they got booed by the crowd in Philadelphia. You got to love that. Is there anything better than overtime wins in hockey? We had not one, but two last night.
Larner looking for his first playoff goal with the Knights. He's got 13 career playoff goals. Loose puck, right circle, a shot, score! Howden again! A year ago to the day, Howden wins it in double overtime. A shorthanded goal. Vegas 5, Utah 4. Craziness. What's past is prologue. Brett Howden, an overtime winner. His third career overtime goal. This one gives the Knights a 3-2 series lead.
Yeah, nothing. Shorthanded goals in a way. One to lose in overtime, two to lose on a shorthanded goal in overtime. That is never any fun. Double overtime, no less, for the Vegas Golden Knights now. Up 3-2 on the Mammoth. So the Mammoth had a 2-1 lead in that series at one point. Now they find themselves facing elimination after losing in Las Vegas, but they'll get to go home now to try to force a Game 7. 3 one-goal games last night in the National Hockey League because Montreal also beat Tampa Bay to take a 3-2 series lead in that particular Eastern Conference square-off with that third goal, the go-ahead goal in that game, not coming in overtime, but coming in the third period. So a lot of excitement on the ice last night around hockey. If you want to dive into that, 520-8482. You think, Jacob, you think we should call Dragon Ball and see if he's okay? We might have to call him and see if he's okay.
Look, man, that team hasn't won a playoff series in 10 years. Like, we think of them being one of the premier organizations in all of sports, DK, because we all remember the 90s and early 2000s. But, yeah, the Penguins haven't had a lot of success recently, so I think he's okay. But, yeah, let's call him. I'm always about calling him.
Yeah, well, get him on the line. Get him on the line, so we got to check in on our guy and make sure that he's okay. 2 more games tonight, Dallas and Minnesota, Edmonton and Anaheim. Those series, again, we've had some really good series here in the first round on the NHL side. I'm somewhat happy in terms of my team in the postseason right now, the Cleveland Cavaliers, because they won last night, although it was not a pretty win, and I'm still not fully on board with this team. In fact, one of our world champion Cavaliers / Arizona Wildcats Channing Frye. He had this to say after the game last night. Here's the truth. I love the Cavs in Cleveland. I don't think that this is a team that is going to win a chip. Chip, for those of you that aren't in the know out there, means winning a championship. The Raptors are dogging them and honestly just attacking bad defensive matchups easily. The Cavaliers do not look bought in. That's from Channing Frye, who won a championship playing in Cleveland for the Cavaliers. So he's not high on this team either. Neither is Charles Barkley. Remember, Barkley said early in the NBA playoffs that he felt like that was the Cavaliers were the team coming out of the East. Last night he got on the air and apologized to the fans for saying that. He's out on this team as well. So my team up 3-2, but nobody likes them going much further past this round if they can get out of it. Yeah, it was not a pretty game. Not a pretty game last night for them, but hey, they won. So there you go. Sometimes you got to win ugly, and sometimes maybe an ugly win will help you build some character along the way. 520-848-1290. Our guy, we had Daryl Joyner on yesterday, who covers the Suns for us up in Phoenix. And he said something a little bit surprising that we did not necessarily, J-Dub, get to elaborate on. He said that he thinks the Knicks are the team that's coming out of the Eastern Conference. Were you surprised at all by that? Because I mentioned like 3 or 4 days ago, maybe a little bit more than that, but everybody was ready to fire Mike Brown because of the disastrous way. I think it was game 2 ended somewhat disastrously for the Knicks, and everybody was calling for Mike Brown's job, and now all of a sudden we've got people that believe that that's the team that's going to the finals.
Well, I mean, they've been in the conference finals for 3 consecutive years with the core group that they have. So the Knicks are not a hey, look at the Knicks. Look at that cute little guy. They're doing good. They've been in the conference finals 3 consecutive years.
But are they a team that can get to that
Pacers. Final? They lost to the Pacers twice in that run. It's always what Jalen Brunson and Cat are going to do. So that's a team that obviously defines themselves through their defense and shot making at the end of late shot clock situations. I don't think any team in the East, outside of a healthy Celtics team that clearly won the title a couple years back, is really a juggernaut, look at them, nobody can beat them type of team. So pick a hat. Pick a name out of a hat. New York, Cleveland, maybe what has had the Pistons to start the playoffs. But yeah, bro, like New York has been one of the best performing postseason teams in all of the NBA for the past 3 years. They just haven't made a finals run because Indianapolis has been in the way. Indiana's beaten them twice on, once in the quarterfinals and once in the semifinals last year. So yeah, I think the Knicks have all the pieces that they need. OG Anunoby is really great. Is a very good defender and select shot maker, good offensive rebounder. But I don't know if you know this, but Jalen Brunson is the best pound-for-pound scorer in the NBA. So when you have the best pound-for-pound scorer in the entire NBA, and some good defense and some decent shot blocking, they definitely have a shot. It's about consistency with those guys. They haven't played great in Game 6s and Game 7s the last few years. But overall, yeah, I really like the Knicks roster. I really like Jalen Brunson a lot. And, it's really that Villanova connection. The guy that's kind of been in the doghouse lately is actually Mikal Bridges, believe it or not. Mikal Bridges was at the point where they weren't even playing him in the fourth quarter down the stretch of games. That was in Game 1 and Game 2. So as long as their core guys are, contributing and playing meaningful basketball, then, yeah, I think the Knicks definitely have a shot to potentially win the East. I don't know about what their shots are against OKC or any other teams out of the West, but definitely one of the better teams in the East, no doubt.
Is OG Anunoby, is he the Knicks' only hope?
No.
Help me, OG Anunoby.
No.
Help me, OG Anunoby. You're my only hope.
If you got a hope on him, then you got problems. He's like their fourth option. So, yeah, no.
520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. If you want to get in on any of that playoff talk there, that would be NBA, that would be NHL. If you're a Knicks fan, how do you feel? I know we got a lot of New Yorkers out here. If you are a Knicks fan, how do you feel about what our guy Daryl Joyner said? Is your team now suddenly the team to beat? I said I still don't think that they've got enough to beat the Celtics. I still think the Celtics are the better. Not, I think the Celtics are the better team. Now, whether or not they beat the Knicks, we will likely find out in the next round. But I'm not ready to jump on board with a Knicks to the NBA Finals bandwagon just yet. But if you are a Knick fan, I want to hear from you on that at 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. We got a lot in store for you today, a lot of interviews early in the show today. Arizona Golf finishes second at the Big 12 Championships at Prairie Dunes in Hutchinson, Kansas this week. 4 rounds. They played 2 rounds on Monday and 2 rounds on Monday, 1 round on Tuesday, and then they played the final round yesterday. And so the Wildcats finished second behind the champions, Oklahoma State. We're going to chat with Jim Anderson. He is the head coach of your Arizona men's golf team. We'll get his thoughts on the performance. Pretty darn good performance for the fellas this week. Best thing about it was that they bested the rivals from Arizona State, who finished 9th overall. So that Territorial Cup Series point is back in the hands of the Wildcats. So we have, speaking of the Territorial Cup Series, a little bit of a discrepancy this week. So we had thought maybe it was going to end with the men's golf team's victory in the Big 12 championships, but it actually has not yet, because in the midst of everything that was happening with Arizona men's basketball and being on the road for the Final Four, there was another meeting between Arizona and Arizona State in gymnastics in the play-in round, which we call it the first round. It's known as the first round of the NCAA Women's Gymnastics Championships. It is technically the NCAA's, but it's the first round to get into the weekend regional. And the Wildcats have been in that position, I think, like 4 times in the last 5 or 6 years, where they've had to kind of play their way in to the main bracket. And that happened again this year. And the team they had to play their way in against was Arizona State. And that is a singular duel, just 2 teams for the one spot to get into the main bracket for the first weekend. And so that technically is a head-to-head matchup. So it counts in the Territorial Cup Series. And Arizona State won that duel over the University of Arizona. So although the Wildcats had won the regular season matchup here at McHale Center against ASU, they lost in that singular postseason matchup. So that split the point. Wildcats had the point, but the second meeting in the postseason, as we sometimes get in the Territorial Cup Series, allowed the Sun Devils to split the points. So we thought that the Wildcats were going to wrap things up with the golf win, but in fact, they have not yet done that. But the expectation as we look ahead to the final 2 matchups is that the Wildcats are going to win and finish better than the Sun Devils at the Big 12 Track and Field Outdoor Championships, which is still not for like almost a month. So we got to wait a while to get to that. That'll be kind of, I think, the 3rd weekend in May. It's after graduation, usually, is the Conference Track and Field Championships. So we'll have to kind of wait, but the expectation is the Wildcats are going to win it, more than likely both of those points, at least one for sure. And so they will wrap up. They will get that 12th point needed to wrap up the Territorial Cup Series championship. So there you go. That's where we stand. So officially, in terms of what I like to call the historic rules, we are standing right now at 11-9. 11-9 Arizona in the Territorial Cup Series race. So there you have it. If you want to dive in on that, 520-848-1290. We've got Kentucky Derby coming up this weekend. Are you throwing a Derby party this week? Have you been, J-Dub, to a Derby party, a Kentucky Derby party?
Yeah, for sure.
Really?
I mean,
okay,
I've definitely.
I never have.
Yeah, I think it's
I'm always working.
It's less called a Kentucky Derby party as a fancy hat party more than any.
So you've been to a fancy hat party.
Now, I've been to a fancy hat party on the day of the Kentucky Derby is what we're talking about here, bro. Like, but they don't call it a Kentucky Derby party because that's very specific to Louisville. But yeah, I mean, I've had mint juleps. I mean, I bartended for 15 years, so I understand the lore behind it. I'm just not. I mean, I grew up around horses. I don't know about you, but I rode horses my whole life growing up. But as far as like thoroughbreds and purebred horse racing and that element and that lifestyle, like it's never been anything I've ever been around. So, I mean, I've only seen it on TV as far as those people who sell, breeding rights for $5 million for somebody who finished second in one of these big races. But I think the pageantry is really what it's all about. So, I mean, if you can sit with some people, what is it? Is that the most exciting 2 minutes in sports? Is that what they call it?
Yeah, something of that.
Yeah. So, like, if you can sit for, it's the preamble. Just like the Super Bowl, it's really the 3 hours leading up to the kickoff. As far as that race or any of the, the Triple Crown races go, it's really just a lot of hanging out with your good friends, making good food. So, yes, I enjoy good food and good alcohol, and I've definitely spent time doing both those things on Kentucky Derby Sundays.
All right, we'll talk some golf coming up. Jim Anderson is the head coach, the longest tenured head coach now in the Arizona Athletics Department. He will join us next to talk about the Cats' performance at the Big 12 Championships. DK's on the sports tip. JW is here. Cricket is here. Dragon Ball has the day off. We've got you, and Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Houghton and Escalante. Escalante and Houghton hit and run wreck reported. Slowdowns northbound Houghton at Escalante. More slowing on Swan at Grant and busy travel on Alvernon at Grant Road. And for your weather, 58 the overnight low. Chance of rain this afternoon and sunny, 86 tomorrow. 88 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Cool Willie's Air and Plumbing. In Tucson, desert dust destroys AC systems fast. Cool Willie's preseason AC reset is a deep internal clean that removes buildup and restores airflow before the heat hits. First-time customers pay just $39. Appointments fill fast. Visit coolwillies.com and book online today.
Download our app. It slaps. Nobody covers Southern Arizona sports like we do. Don't miss out on any of the highlights, stories, and analysis. The flagship home for Arizona Wildcats athletics, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code GO to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code GO to borrow up to $10,000. Use code GO to borrow up to $10,000. Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong?
I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code INSTANT to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code INSTANT to borrow up to $10,000. Use code INSTANT to borrow up to $10,000.
A family office is a team built to handle the three biggest financial responsibilities a family faces: wealth management, tax strategy, and estate planning. Most firms only manage your investments and refer the rest out, hoping everyone stays aligned. At Trajan, we built something different. Your wealth, tax planning, and estate planning are handled together inside one firm under one roof. There's no guessing whether your CPA, advisor, and estate attorney are truly in sync, because our team works together every day on your behalf. When your financial life becomes more complex, your advice should become more coordinated, not more fragmented. One plan, one trusted team. Call Trajan today.
520-200-1600. That's 520-200-1600.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
Nobody covers your cats like we do.
Spivey in the open. Touchdown, Arizona.
The biggest improvement to the passing game, the timing that Noah has got with his receivers.
He's progressing at a great pace. It's not just one guy that's getting all the passes. If you want to lock down, who you lock down? You definitely want to make sure that Spivey doesn't touch the ball, because all he does is touch it and run into the end zone. It's just amazing how he's connecting with all these receivers.
We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Looking for the ultimate midweek escape? Come experience Tucson's original Whiskey Wednesday at Union Public House in St. Philip's Plaza, where whiskey lovers sip for half price from one of Arizona's largest whiskey collections. Hungry late? Our kitchen's open till midnight, serving up made-from-scratch American favorites. And the bar? Open till 2 a.m. Whiskey Wednesday, only at your favorite Tucson hangout, Union Public House, Campbell and River. Great bites, late nights.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, let's talk some golf with the head coach of the University of Arizona men's golf team. Jim Anderson joins us on the program. Fellas just got back from Kansas and the Big 12 men's golf championships, where they took second overall behind Oklahoma State. Jim, appreciate you taking some time to join us. Pretty good week out there in Kansas for the fellas. What was your overall assessment of how they played?
Hi, DK. Yeah, thanks so much for having me. We were pleased with how it went. We went to play an awesome golf course at Prairie Dunes. It's in Hutchinson, Kansas, about an hour north of Wichita, and it's a very well-renowned course. It's hosted some great events in the past, a lot of history. It's in a remote area, so it's not well-trafficked or played by just casual golf enthusiasts, but people who know what Prairie Dunes is all about. They know how great it is, and it delivered. The challenge that we thought we would have going into it, which it was, great golf course, tough setup. We got some pretty cold temperatures. The weather kind of tricked us, to be honest. I was really kind of secretly rooting for upper 60s and 70s, which is what the forecast said. And then about when we got on the plane is when it flipped, and we were getting like highs of 58. Oh, so preparation is an important part of success. And I would say that I was very, very relieved that we had enough hand warmers and some of the other extra stuff. I'll give the guys some credit because I didn't pack enough warm clothes. But either way, playing that golf course in those conditions was a real challenge. And we got to play against teams who have been playing in this conference for a long time, have seen that set up multiple times, having been there before. So that was new, and that was a little bit different. But the guys did a great job with adjusting and really, staying very much in the present, something we talk about a lot, letting the results come. And it was overall, we had a really good chance going in the last day. I mean, chasing down Oklahoma State with one round to go is not an easy task at any time. And, overall, I was really pleased with our, 6 guys traveling and the whole entire crew. We had a good week together, and I think it's only given us more confidence for the future.
It's interesting, Jim, because it seems like even when we were in the Pac-12, they move these conference tournaments throughout the footprint of the conferences, and it seems like there were some times you guys were up in Seattle at times in late April and had to deal with cooler temperatures. So it doesn't say, you would think like, hey, let's say we're playing for the conference title. Let's put it somewhere where we know the weather is going to be pretty good and pretty warm and pretty playable. But that's not always the case, and you have to be able to adjust to those circumstances as a player.
Exactly, and I think this goes down to a bit of a philosophy, and you're talking to the coach at Arizona. So I am the one who's most vocal about what you just said. So maybe I can bring you in and help moderate this discussion amongst the coaches, DK, because you nailed it. But all kidding aside, I think you watch what the PGA Tour schedule is, and they follow the sun. They're right on the West Coast. They're going to Florida. Eventually, they're going to make their way to the Midwest, but it's not in April. But some coaches, and I don't blame them, they think, getting the best setup and the most challenging conditions, that's going to identify a great champion, which it does. So, that's just how it is. College golf, we don't play in the summer. We play in some of the months where other parts of the country don't enjoy the same weather that Arizona gets. And it's up to us to be prepared and just embrace those conditions and learn how to compete and perform in that condition too. So, and truth be told, this year is an exception because we're hosting the NCAA regional, which we're super thrilled and excited about. But if we weren't hosting this year, we would be holding our breath on Wednesday to find out where we'll be going, of which, this year could have been Ohio State. Sometimes it's Yale. So you definitely need to experience those types of conditions if you want to continue advancing this time of year. So it's still really good for us to see that.
Jim Anderson is our guest. He's the head coach of your Arizona men's golf team. So because you guys are hosting, you'll definitely be at home. That's how that works, correct?
Yes, okay. Exactly.
Cool. I'll say. And that'll be at the Gallery Golf Club, and that'll be coming up in a few weeks, 2 weeks to be, 3 weeks to be exact. May 18th, 19th, and 20th will be the NCAA regional here. How familiar are you guys with the Gallery?
We've been very lucky, and this is true of the golf community in Tucson. They love the Wildcats and embrace us all over the community. So we're thankful for that. But the Gallery has stepped up huge this year and in terms of hosting and opening up the facility. They've hosted the NCAA regional in 2016. They hosted Pac-12 championships 2014 and 2004. And so they're not unfamiliar with hosting great championships like this. And our team, has certainly been up there a half a dozen or more times. We've been scheduling to get up there even next week a couple of times. So the guys are going to be very familiar with the lines off the tees, with what clubs to be hitting, where our targets are. They'll be very accustomed to, hole locations and where to try to put the ball, depending on what hole locations we see each of those competition days. And I think overall, our recipe for preparing and competing at home has worked pretty well in the past. Having won our Arizona Intercollegiate many times, including the NIT, and having success at home with that event too. So we're going to continue to follow the same blueprint, keep getting the guys ready one day at a time, and approach it very much like we have with all of our tournaments this year, and just make sure the guys feel confident and calm and prepared, and go out and just be aggressive, be their best, and let it rip.
Obviously, Filip Jakubczyk has been the top player in this program for a number of years now. He led you guys at the Big 12s, finished 3 under par, the lone golfer to finish under par. What did you like just about the way that he handled the tournament to kind of be that leader and be that best player out there for you?
Filip's been as good a player as I've ever coached. He's got some qualities about his game that definitely stand out, but I think maybe one of his best qualities as a competitor is just his overall mental game and just his composure. He's very competitive. It doesn't matter if we're playing cards or we're playing a board game or we're playing any other game that requires someone to give their best and show that they want to win. But he's worked really hard in all areas of his game. But I think what separates him the most is it doesn't matter what happened in the past on any given round. He's very confident, very calm, very collected, and he gives himself an opportunity to hit a great shot the next one. And he's worked really hard for that. It's not just because he's mentally strong is he a good golfer. He's practicing today, and he's working on his game right now, and he sees, golf as his future, and he invests the time necessary to be that level of a player. So we're excited for him, and he definitely has led by example from start to finish this year, and that even goes back to previous years. He's just been a rock of the team, and we're counting on him to finish up strong in those last 2 events too.
Tianyi Zhang had a little bit of an up and down 4 rounds there, but really finished strong in that last round with even par to kind of bump himself up in the standings. So where's he kind of at right now? Because we've seen him flash at times the last few years and maybe not play well and then be able to come back maybe like we saw at the end of the Big 12s this week. Kind of what's the key maybe to him kind of leveling out and being more consistent?
Well, I definitely, and we call him Tony. Tianyi is his name, but he goes by Tony, and everybody loves him. He's just a warm, awesome guy, and he's just a huge part of our team. And I got to credit him for his coachable, the amount of how coachable he is. And I got to shout out our assistant coach, Matt Walton, because those two have spent a lot of time together. Matt walked with him all 72 holes this week. And Tony has really worked hard to be prepared for these types of setups. I think when he gets to play, as a freshman or sophomore, getting to play in Arizona type conditions where you can just hit a golf shot kind of the same way you would approach a range ball shot, 165 yards. Okay, I'm going to hit a full 9-iron. Like, he's very good at that type of golf, but when it's requiring him to take some spin off or hit a little bit of a knockdown shot or shape a shot, use a little bit more imagination and kind of artistic approach, he's worked really hard to trust that in competition. And he and Matt Walton have worked really hard together in practice. And I think the round that we saw yesterday, which was a huge round for us, keeping it together, shooting even par in those conditions, that was absolutely the type of golf that we believe Tony's capable of playing. And he's using the experience he's picked up over the last 2.5 years to really be a guy who can show up big like that when we need him.
William Wystrom, we spoke when at the outing over there at Omni. Your freshman comes in out of Sweden. He had 3 eagles this week at the Big 12 championships. I remember seeing him kind of frustrated at the end of that round out at Omni because he didn't really, like the way that he finished that. But how's he progressed through the season? Obviously, kind of has worked his way into being that number 2 guy, that consistent number 2 guy in your lineup.
Yeah, William's he's been a pro ever since he arrived. He's, has been here only a year, but was, playing some very high level golf in Sweden, and even was on a bit of a track towards maybe professional golf. And kind of later in the recruiting process, did he decide college golf was going to be a good opportunity for him, and pursuing a degree at the same time is something he wanted to do. And so we definitely inherited, welcomed a player with a maturity that most freshmen don't have. And, you see that with William. He's definitely a bit fiery is probably the right word. He's just ultra competitive, like most of the guys on our team. But, when he's on, you just kind of have to get out of the way because he knows how to play good golf. And when he's off, he's still not that far off. So I think that's a lot of the reason we're seeing his consistency really kind of rein in this spring. And it's no surprise to anyone on his team, and coaches included, that he's become such a reliable player. He's earned the trust of the coaches. He's earned the respect of his teammates, and he's very polished with his approach and how he plays. And I haven't had a player who's as skilled in the wedge game as William. And one of the best credit or qualities that William's demonstrated, he's not afraid to share his confidence either. He tells you how good he is, and he does it in a kind way. But he's very self-confident in his golfing ability, and because he's put a lot of work in, and he sees the results, and he knows what he's doing works.
So now, Bull, I want to ask you because I was talking about the Eagles. I think you guys had 6 Eagles for the tournament. He and Tony each had Eagles on par 4s. Were those like long distance hole out second shot type situations, or did they hit the drive so good it went on the green and they putted for the 2?
Great question, DK. And there's never a bad 2. There's no such thing as a bad 2, right? So It doesn't matter what the par is, but you love 2 on par 4. And both of these holes, Williams was, I think, round 2, number 18. I didn't catch the number of what he had in, but he probably had about 80 yards, maybe 100 yards in, if I had to guess, on that particular day. And he hooped it from the fairway. And then Tony, I again didn't get the number because Matt was walking with him. All I got was a text that Tony hold out on 3, and knowing that whole 3 was a par 4, I was like, that's even better. It was the final round too, so it was even better. But Tony, if Tony hit driver like I think he did, he probably had about 60 or 70 yards pitch shot, to a back pin that he probably chased back there, and it released perfectly and just trickled in. So either way, exciting stuff when guys are hooping shots from the fairways. Hopefully we can keep that up in the postseason.
Well, let's hope so for sure. So second place, obviously, in the Big 12 Championships, NCAA Regionals right here in Tucson at the Gallery. That's coming up mid-May, 18th, 19th, and 20th. If fans want to go out and see that, it's pretty easy to do. Jim, what do they need to do? Who they need to contact the golf course, U of A, to get tickets? How does that work?
Nope, it won't be a ticketed event. So we would welcome any and all, especially Wildcat golf fans, or Wildcat fans rather, and even just golf enthusiasts. There will be, 13 or 14 teams here, depending on how the seeding shakes out. There's a good chance we're going to be playing in the top seeded groups, either the 3 seed or the 4 seed. The tee times are early, so hopefully you got some early birds listening to the 7 o'clock start time on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But we'll be playing all morning and wrapping up probably around 1 o'clock at Gallery each day. So please, anyone who's interested in seeing some high-level college golf with some great teams who are, earning a chance to punch a ticket to the NCAA finals, that's round 1 and round 2 of our NCAA tournament right here in Tucson. So wear your red and blue, or just come out with a golf cap and sunscreen and just take in some really good golf, because it'll be a lot of fun to see it.
There you go. And then the NCAA Championship this year at the end of May, early June out in Carlsbad, California at the Omni La Costa Resort. Jim, congratulations on a great week at the Prairie Dunes out at Hutchinson, Kansas. Again, second place for the fellas. Always great to see that. And now you guys will begin. I would imagine, is there a little bit of a dial down? How do you guys prepare over these next 3 weeks to get ready for regional?
Yeah, well, big stuff. Philip and Zach are both graduating this next
right.
2 weeks from now on Wednesday. Connor Ham, also a senior, he'll be graduating as well. So that's exciting. We'll have some families in for that. But we are going to, spend more time up at the Gallery and continue doing some of the practice stuff that we've been doing with the guys, getting them ready for the postseason. So this weekend's a little light just because it takes a lot out of you playing Prairie Dunes setup in those conditions for 3 days, 4 rounds. But once we get into next week, it'll be kind of boots on the ground, ready to rock and roll, and keep all this momentum moving forward for the team.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to getting with some of the guys and chatting with them as we lead up to regionals coming up in a few weeks. Jim, we always love talking to you. Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely, DK. Anytime. Thanks for the coverage, and bear down.
Here we go. Jim Anderson, longest tenured head coach here now at the University of Arizona, year number 14 for Jim Anderson, leading your Arizona men's golf team to a second-place finish at the Big 12 Championship. So it ended in terms of the team leaderboard. Oklahoma State finished at 10 under par. Wildcats were 8 shots back at -2. TCU closed strong with an even par round in that 4th round, as the Wildcats and Oklahoma State were both +8, +9. TCU came in 1 shot behind the Wildcats at 1 over. So 3 teams finishing at under par for the tournament. Texas Tech was 4th at +9. Kansas at +10. Utah at +15. 18 over for BYU and Baylor. 21 over for Arizona State. 23 for UCF. Iowa State was +24. Kansas State +34. Cincinnati 38 shots over par. Houston 41 shots over par. Virginia at +44, and Colorado brought up the rear at +49. We'll await to find out who else is coming to Tucson here in mid-May. DK on the Sports Tip, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We're going to chat some WNBA Mercury basketball next with Ann Schatz, broadcaster for the Mercury. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Collision at Houghton and Escalante. That was a hit and run. Slowdowns northbound on Houghton approaching Escalante. More busy travel. Expect slowing at Ajo and Mission, southbound and westbound, and more slowing on southbound La Cholla at Ajo Way. 58 the overnight low, chance of rain this evening, sunny 86 tomorrow and 88 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm.
Ready to upgrade to the perfect sleep setup? Let Mattress Firm sleep experts guide you to the perfect bed at the Memorial Day sale. top brands. Ideal comfort. Score unbeatable deals on both. Mattress Firm. They make sleep easy.
If your yard is the talk of the neighborhood, make sure it's for all the right reasons. Call Dorado Rock and Materials. For landscape gravel to boulders and everything in between, Dorado Rock and Materials will make sure you and your yard are covered.
Shh, here he comes. Surprise! The people above your catering business are doing major construction, and the drilling is only during business hours. It's so loud.
Progressive knows small business owners usually don't like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money, getting personalized discounts on a commercial auto quote with Progressive.
Also, that isn't powdered sugar on the floor. It's plaster from your ceiling.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Kohl's has Mother's Day gifts that feel like a treat because moms deserve something nice. Preferably something that doesn't involve snack duty, carpool, or reminding anyone where their shoes are. Make her day with 25% off across the store during Kohl's Friends and Family Sale at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. It's just too bad you can't buy her the one thing she really wants, a nap. Select styles 25% off or ends May 3rd. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card, so let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything! The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu!
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
With other language learning apps, I was just playing games. I wasn't really learning. Babbel's different.
Babbel was designed by over 200 language learning experts to be the most effective way to learn another language.
Every time I open the app, I can choose to work on my writing, speaking, or listening. And it saves my mistakes for me to review, so I'm constantly improving. Before Babbel, I thought I just wasn't good with languages. But now I'm speaking French. Tout ça, c'est grâce à Babbel.
Save up to 50% on your Babbel subscription when you sign up at Babbel.com. BABBEL.com.
Average doesn't grow your business. Smart strategy does. At Cumulus Digital, our campaigns outperform industry benchmarks by more than 25% because we go beyond clicks and impressions, showing you exactly who saw your ad. We build solutions that fit more than 4,000 businesses that partner with us every month. Let's build one for you. You're not average, and your marketing results shouldn't be either. Visit cumulusdigital.com today.
Jim Rome takes on sports.
Why? Because I have a job to do.
With rapid fire takes.
So I don't want to hear from you lava pigs on this notion today. No idea what you're talking about. You're complaining more than you like to breathe air. It's like you get up in the morning only to complain and cry and moan on social media about things that you don't even understand.
He's the Spitfire of sports smack.
Take advantage of it. Get up in here.
The Jim Rome Show podcast.
What's your beef?
Follow and listen on your favorite platform.
You've been warned.
Morning begins in the Rincon foothills. Rocking K, a master-planned community and place to call home, offering distinct neighborhoods designed to fit your lifestyle. Explore the outdoors, walk the trails, visit Saguaro National Park. Enjoy community parks and make new friends at Rocking K resident events. Walk to Vail School District's newest campus in Rocking K, Saguaro Creek. 17 model homes, 6 quality builders. Move-in ready homes available from the 300s. Rocking K, designed by nature. A community by design.
It's DK on the Sports Tip. Did you hear what we were talking about?
Sonny, you're on DK on the Sports Tip, Wildcats Radio 1290.
First of all, I want to congratulate you on your show. I'm really glad and appreciate the show that you guys put together, bringing what I think is sort of quality local radio.
This is a great radio station. You guys go high school and everything, and this is a great radio station sports-wise.
Well, we appreciate you saying that, Victor. Thank you so much.
DK on the Sports Tip, Monday through Fridays at 3, right here on Wildcats Radio 1290.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
Presented by Chumba Casino, your online casino for plays, spins, and a chance to score. Must be 21 and over. Terms at ChumbaCasino.com. The Lakers failed to close out the Rockets last night. The Rockets now have won 2 straight games without Kevin Durant. No team in NBA history has won a series after being down 3-0. Can the Rockets force a Game 7? Game 6 in Houston is Friday night. I'm Chris Black.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system,
she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The U.S. Treasury just released its official financial report for 2025. Buried in it is a startling admission. By its own numbers, it appears the U.S. government is insolvent. When governments go this deep in debt, they print money, raise taxes, or cut benefits, none of which can help protect you. That's why people move part of their savings into physical gold and silver. Call Monetary Gold at 877-NOW-GOLD for their complimentary gold and silver guide. That's 877-NOW-GOLD. Call Monetary Gold now at 877-NOW-GOLD. Do it before the next headline, not after. Performance may vary. You should always consult your financial and tax professional.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Inside look. Yabu not there running. Copper wants to get all the way to the cup. Easy deuce. Yamamoto wild there. Here comes AT. She already has 4 assists. Is going to drop it off. Ka again.
And chats with the call last night. Phoenix Mercury in the exhibition part of their schedule knocked off the Japanese national team, 86-60. Corey Gaines, former Mercury coach, coaching that squad. Now, let's talk a little Mercury basketball as we get close to the start of the regular season. And Schatz joins us, second-year broadcaster now for the Mercury. And we had a chance to talk to you last year. Appreciate you joining us to kind of kick things off on this 2026 season. Just your impression. You've seen the first 2 exhibition games. Obviously, it's the preseason, but just your impressions on what you've seen so far.
Well, first of all, DK, thanks for having me back. Always a pleasure, and happy 30-year anniversary, WNBA. Obviously, Phoenix, one of the OGs, so this is a special season indeed. It's tough to get a real lay of the land because there are so many bodies and moving parts in training camp. But the critical thing to remember is last season, if you guys remember, only 2 returners for Nate Tibbetts and his staff to play around with, if you will, Ka Copper and Natasha Mack. And both of them were hurt in preseason camp and missed the first X amount of games in the regular season. So basically, Nate, in some respects, flying blind last year at this exact moment. This year, he has 6 returners in camp this season alone. Was scheduled to have 2 more to come back after their overseas commitments. Kat Westfeld tragically blowing out her ACL in the final game of her overseas league. But Monique Akol-Makani will be coming back soon. So there will be 7 all told in terms of returners for Nate to play with, and that's huge.
When you talk about one of the exits, obviously, was Satu Sabally signing back east with New York. How do they fill that loss?
Well, I think there's a lot of by committee, for sure rebounding. Satu was really good at crashing and attacking. Obviously, she scored a ton, but she was also a very crafty rebounder and was able to be that defender to get in the passing lanes, to get the fast break started with the deflections, with the steals, that kind of thing. So rebounding and defensively, it's going to have to be by committee. And I just think other folks are going to be asked to score more in terms of returners. I look for Natasha Mack to look for her shot more. Look for a healthy Ka Copper to get back to 2024 scoring patterns, if you will. Maybe not dropping all of those 30-point games like she did in 2024, but just getting back to her old self, if you will, as she is healthy. I think Bonner, DB, having an entire season here. She obviously joins the Mercury last year in July. That was kind of an odd scenario. Obviously, she fits well into this organization, hand in glove, spending 10 years in Phoenix when she first started her WNBA career back in the dawn of time, it feels like. But Whitcomb, Mack, DB, Alyssa Thomas, Ka Copper, You throw those names out there, DK, and you've got some scores.
Yeah, and Sammy Whitcomb obviously was another one that dealt with injuries last year, so hopefully you can keep her healthy for the full go. I want to circle back, though, to DeWanna Bonner, obviously joining the team last year late. In your mind, is the anticipation that she's, at this point in her career, still a full-time starter? Is she someone that maybe they thought, might be the sixth or seventh person in the rotation? I mean, is she still a starter in your mind?
Well, she is for these exhibition games, DK. That's a great question because, it's kind of what Nate has at his disposal. He's not going to start training camp rookies or training camp invitees. So DB taking that starting role. She's very comfortable off the bench. If you remember back in Phoenix when she first started, she won 3 Sixth Player of the Year awards. So she's very used to coming off the bench and being very productive. Last year, if I'm not mistaken, as she came off the bench most of the time when she joined the Mercury in July, I think she led the reserves in the W in scoring off the bench. So she understands the value of that role. I wouldn't be surprised if things shake out with, again, overseas players are going to be coming into camp over the next X amount of days. And DB, I think, would be very comfortable coming off the bench.
We're chatting with the TV voice of the Phoenix Mercury. Ann Schatz is our guest. Mercury getting set for their 2026 season. Nate Tibbetts back in the lead chair. He had a chance to go home over this past weekend to South Dakota. I was marveling. We talked about it on the show yesterday. $3,000 people were paying for tickets to get into that small little facility there to watch the WNBA. I mean, I was like, wow. I mean, that's incredible when you hear a number like that for folks to come and watch preseason women's basketball, but just speaks to the love of the sport. And I think it's great that the league and the Mercury put that game there to really showcase in a city maybe that doesn't necessarily get a chance to get a hands-on look at the league.
Well, for sure. This was the first ever WNBA game in the state of South Dakota. But know this, that state and that area of the country really celebrates girls and women's basketball, high school level, college level. They get it. These are smart, savvy girls and women's basketball fans that showed up. And this arena was so flippin' cool. So it's new. And it's rocking and rolling in terms of just the nuances of a new building, but it's got that throwback feel of Hoosiers, the parquet floor look of the old Boston Garden. They did a great job of building this 3,500 seat right on top of the Action Arena. And if you go and research the Pentagon in Sioux Falls, the big name men's and women's college basketball teams who come through that arena and ask and beg to come back. It is very impressive. And they also have their G League team who plays in that, which plays in that arena. This is a basketball town. Trust me.
I mean, that's awesome. It was awesome that there was it was a community feel to it. It wasn't just a game. I understand it was a basketball camp there as well that kind of preceded it to really just kind of celebrate everything that's great about women's basketball and, like you mentioned, girls basketball. And did you get a sense? Obviously, we heard Nate's, what he had to say and the emotion that he had talking about his dad and what it would have meant for him. Did you just get a sense that how much that meant to him to be there and to be able to do that?
It was so powerful. I'm glad you bring it up because this is the human side of the game that we never, ever want to lose track of. And we never want to sidestep the humanity of the game. And it was living large in Sioux Falls. To look at Nate's face, he would look across the arena and see his mom sitting there with his brother's wife, Nate's wife, and 2 little girls. I'm getting the chills just thinking about it. Folks wanting his autograph. Former guys that he coached in the D League there as one of the youngest coaches in the D League before it's the G League with that team. His old University of South Dakota teammates. And then everybody who remembered the legendary Fred Tibbetts, who was one of the most instrumental high school girls coaches in the country. And what he was able to do, Fred, including a 111-game win streak during his tenure with Roosevelt High School in Sioux Falls, what he was able to do to put girls high school basketball on the map was unbelievable. And so Nate's in those gyms all the time when he was a little kid. You know that. Nate is in that gym all the time with his dad. So he's not thinking, oh boy, girls basketball, whatever. He's digging it. He's loving it. He's appreciating it. He is seeing the value and the beauty of it. And I'm going to think that Nate's dad was just beaming with pride. That entire 3-day experience for Tibbetts, his family, the entire team and community. It was as special a moment as I've seen in a long time.
Ann Schatz is our guest, TV play-by-play announcer for the Phoenix Mercury. And let's get to some of the business. We got a CBA deal done in the offseason.
Yeah.
Took a little bit of a while. What do you like about the structure of it and how this will hold up and what it's going to mean for the players?
Well, bottom line is the fact that it took a long time, and I think folks were on the edges of their seat. We knew deadline dates and drop-dead dates and go-dark dates were coming, and they came and went. And things got really serious at the very end, as we all know. There was a lot of posturing and a little, just some Texas two-stepping from both sides. But the players are getting their just rewards. And I think that's absolutely huge. When you look at the monetary value of the product on the floor, in other words, the players, and how these players have moved the needle in terms of ratings, advertising, sponsorships, in terms of what it costs now to get into the league as owners, franchise owners, it is unbelievable. Now you've got everybody making money, and that includes the players, and I'm excited as heck for them. I mean, think about that now. Think about this. They're making money for the first time in their careers. And you can say all you want, well, yeah, but endorsements. You don't hang your hat on endorsements. You hang your hat on what's going on the floor, and you want to be compensated for what you're worth. And we all know you're an ACL or an Achilles tear or another illness or injury away from being finished.
Yeah.
So the compensation now is absolutely critical. It took a long time, probably worth the wait for a lot of folks, maybe frustrating for some other players, but it's here, and I'm just giddy for the players.
And let me ask you this question. Sandy Brondello has won 2 titles coaching in this league, and one in Phoenix, one in New York. Why is she always looking for a job? Why does she not stick in these places where she's been able to win win titles?
Well, another great question. I think folks around the league, and not just insiders, were absolutely shocked when New York decided to let her go. That was a shocking transaction.
Yeah.
With what she did in New York. And you got to look at the Liberty last year and the many, many major injuries that Brondello had to work around and work with. I thought she did a really great coaching job. And obviously, Phoenix defeating New York in the playoffs, I think, really hastened the exit for Brondello. And a great hire by Toronto, don't you think?
No, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Heck yeah. Heck yeah.
And I'm from Cleveland, and I was a original season ticket holder of the Rockers, so I'm glad that my city is getting a team back next year. So.
I love that. And you have to stick up for Cleveland way too many times. That's a great sports town. It's a great city. I'm glad the league is back in Cleveland.
There we go. Hey, Ann, have a great season. We'll talk to you again as once we get things going and check in about maybe a quarter of the way through to see where things are at.
I'd love that. And again, thank you so much for having me with you. Anytime, let's chat.
There we go. Ann Schatz, broadcaster for the Phoenix Mercury. DK on the Sports Tip, 520-848-1290 is the number. You want to get in on any of that conversation right there as the Mercury gets set for their season. Well, coming up in the 4 o'clock hour, we're going to talk some more FC Tucson. This time on the men's side, Sebastian Pineda will join us, the head coach of the FC Tucson men. They're on the pitch Saturday for their friendly to open up the 2026 summer. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Oro Valley, Oracle near McGee. Collision on Oracle to the north of McGee at Cool Drive. We do have some slowdowns for traffic on Oracle at McGee. Some slowing at Ajo and Mission. Mission and Ajo Way southbound and westbound slowdowns. Ajo and Mission. And for your weather, 58, the overnight low, there is a chance of rain into this evening, and 88 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 traffic and weather together.
Around Tucson, you've probably seen Cruz on the road across our community. Because Cruz isn't just another law firm, we care about this community. And when one of our own is injured in an accident, we can help. Call 520-567-8000. Cruz & Associates, a firm you know, help you can trust.
This report is sponsored by Mattress Firm.
Ready to upgrade to the perfect sleep setup? Let Mattress Firm sleep experts guide you to the perfect bed at the Memorial Day sale. Top brands, ideal comfort, score unbeatable deals on both. Mattress Firm. They make sleep easy.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code GO to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money, so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code GO to borrow up to $10,000. Use code GO to borrow up to $10,000.
Tune in Friday at 6 p.m. as Chip Hale and your Arizona Wildcats travel to Lawrence to take on the first-place Kansas Jayhawks. Catch every game on your home for University of Arizona Athletics. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Wow, this is bad.
Oh no, how bad? When will my AC be fixed?
You know, I don't know. It's your flux capacitor. They don't make them anymore. Special order. Couple grand easy.
Oh my God, what?
Don't get air-conned into paying for shoddy service and stuff you don't need. Put Goodfellas on the job. Goodfellas AC will repair or install your AC the right way the first time. You'll know up front exactly what it'll cost and how long it'll take. No surprises and free second opinions. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong?
I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code INSTANT to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money, so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code INSTANT to borrow up to $10,000. Use code INSTANT to borrow up to $10,000.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You sort through tons of resumes and you get too many so-so applicants. You're just waiting for someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now there's a place where you can meet them fast. ZipRecruiter.
Need to hire right away. Start your search for strong candidates. The right fit awaits. Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free, and you're on your way to meeting your match. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. So try it now. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free. Once again, that's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media Station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. We are your home for Arizona Athletics. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Hour number 2 of our show on this Thursday. Full show today. Not a full show tomorrow. We'll only be on the air for 1 hour, 3 to 4. That's because you've got Arizona baseball starting a 3-game series tomorrow at Kansas. Brian Jeffries will have the call at 4 o'clock. Friday at 4, Saturday and Sunday at noon. All 3 of those games, you'll hear it right here. J-Dub, we've got some breaking news to tell the people about today. Where's my famous breaking news?
Well, I can only play one song at a time. Okay. Come on. What kind of operation do you think we have here?
One that we need to improve upon so we can play more than one piece of music at a time, I think. All right. Breaking news. According to John Rothstein, College Hoops Today, CBS Sports, Arizona and St. John's are going to start a basketball series. The Wildcats and the Red Storm will play in the Hall of Fame series at Madison Square Garden on Saturday, December the 5th this year. And then they will have a return game here in Phoenix the following season, 27-28. That's awesome. Arizona and St. John's going to have a home-and-home, not necessarily at the school arenas, but I would imagine the Phoenix game will be at the Mortgage Marketplace, as the Wildcats have routinely, under Tommy Lloyd, tried to schedule a game there every single season. That'll be a good game for sure to play there with New York, with St. John's being in New York, and a lot of New York folks being out in the Valley during that time of year, December and whatnot, holidays and the snowbird, the height of the snowbird season. I like that. I like that meeting right there. Rick Pitino obviously has done great things in reviving that St. John's program. They were out in San Diego with us first round of the NCAA tournament. So there's nothing better than seeing Rick Pitino walking around in a white sweatsuit. I think I said that the day we were out there. He looked New York. Let me tell you, he looked New York in that white jumpsuit he was wearing out there in San Diego for the St. John's open practice when we were there for the first round of the NCAA tournament. So if you want to get on the Nats, like that. Don't like that. Surprised. Not surprised. 520-848-1290. Arizona and St. John's on the hardwood. That's a good matchup, J-Dub.
Yeah, I mean, the Red Storm are very defensive-oriented, so don't expect a high-scoring game. That's not the breaking news from the college basketball world today, though.
Oh,
the breaking news from college basketball today, DK, was Duke exclusively signed a deal with Amazon to broadcast their games, and they can get a ton of money for their NIL support.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Notre Dame type stuff there.
Not good for these sports. No.
I'm surprised, though, that has not happened before. I mean, obviously, we're in a new age of streaming where streaming has kind of changed things in terms of, teams and leagues and conferences being able to align themselves with those entities. But yeah, I'm surprised. Especially because because Notre Dame has had their deal in football for so long.
Well,
when did that start? Like in the 90s?
Notre Dame is Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Like, they are unique in that they've always been independent. The problem is that these kind of deals were always generally done with the conferences, and supporting a conference, whether or not it's the Disney company supporting the SEC or the ACC. But to have an individual school, DK, getting more money than their conference mates are, I mean, I didn't like baseball in the 90s. I don't like the idea of some teams having 4 or 5 times the resources of the teams they're competing against. It's just not a balanced playing field. And, Duke is going to get their, 3 or 4 top 10 top 10 high school players every single year. They've done that since Coach K embraced the one and done era. That's never going to change. And I would have much rather liked to have heard a deal made with the conference itself, so that those other schools you don't hear about, and they're expanding the team to 78. What happens when they expand the team to 7, or the tournament, expand it once again, and you still see the same 8 names every single year in the Elite 8 and the Final 4?
Yeah, it's a slippery slope. It's a slippery slope, but it's part of the money game. We mentioned and talked about the 76, the expansion to 76. I'm not a huge fan of it. I didn't think it needed to happen, but it's where we are, and this is the next step in that.
We had Prime for the first 14 years it was available. We canceled 2 years ago, and I'll tell you what, getting the Duke Blue Devils 3 exclusive games on Prime, this guy is not going to go out and buy Amazon Prime to see the Duke Blue Devils play exclusive games on that platform.
No,
I'll tell you that.
Okay. Well, I already have that. I think I get Prime as a part of because I have Amazon Prime on my delivery service, so I think I get that as a result of that. I don't know. I just know that I have it, but I didn't pay for the TV part. I think it comes as a part of my Prime membership.
Yes, it does.
I just a few weeks ago. Well, I think it was because I've the last 2 years I've had to get the Peacock because the Wildcats have played a couple games recently on Peacock. So I generally have to get that for 1 or 2 games a year and then cancel that. So I guess that's kind of where we are.
Okay, but that's the difference between NBC,
Right.
which is established for 120 years, and Jeff Bezos' company. So those are two different things. I just think the exclusive streaming on only streaming platforms, NFL has been doing games on Amazon for about 8-10 years now.
Right.
This is the first time that they will have exclusive college basketball rights. They had a couple of NBA games. There's been some NBA games. You go to the schedule, you'll notice there are some games on Prime. In fact, last week, DK, there were 3 games, and all 3 of them were only available on Amazon Prime. I don't mind. I mean, I'm not here to, talk about, tell companies not to make money. That's obviously the whole point of the companies. The problem I have is when you have something like the NBA playoffs, and there are 4 different companies that you have to own a subscription to in order to watch the games. I mean, if it's 1 or 2, if you have like it always was, this is maybe old guy yelling at clouds here, but it used to be that you could watch all the playoff games without buying any kind of subscription. And here we are at a place where you have to have 3 or 4 separate subscriptions to 4 separate companies in order to watch all the games.
We were talking obviously about the NBA earlier in the show, first segment, and the Suns obviously eliminated earlier this week. Matt Ishbia had his press conference today, his end of the season press conference. We'll hear a little bit of that coming up later in our show as well. And he addressed the elephant in the room, and that is what the future of Devin Booker is going to be moving forward for the Phoenix Suns. It's something that came up right away on our show Monday when we were talking, or Tuesday, I think it was, when we were talking about it, and whether or not actually it was it Tuesday? Yeah, it was Tuesday. If Devin Booker's time here needs to come to an end, 11 seasons, no titles, the last few years, not being able to get out of the first round of the playoffs. What are they, 0-12? Or something over the course of the last few years.
But the real conversation is how dirty the Suns have done Devin Booker. It's not about Devin Booker not being able to carry a ragtag group of guys to the mountaintop. I mean, that's not the conversation. The conversation is, do you sell high with the guy in his 11th season, the all-time franchise leading scorer, to get assets back that you believe under Coach Ott that you could design a team to win games against teams like Oklahoma City? So he's by far their most valuable asset. The question is not, does Devin Booker have another 8 years of greatness in him? The question is, do you think you can surround Devin Booker with players? Because let's just count them down, right? KD didn't pan out because he didn't really play a lot. And when he did, it wasn't super effective because they didn't have a point guard. Jalen Green missed a ton of time. Dylan Brooks missed a ton of time this year. But first and foremost, Bradley Beal. 8 coaches in 11 years, DK.
Yeah.
So, I mean, the idea of no consistency for poor Mr. Devin Booker, I don't think Devin Booker's, necessarily the victim here. He's the star of that team. He's going to be the guy they look to if you don't get out of the first round or if you get swept like they did this year. And all that being said, a little nuanced look at it, you can just see what they did, especially under Sarver. What they did to Booker was not surround him with the pieces to help him be successful. A couple of lob threats and a point guard, and I think that team is a second or third round, NBA franchise right now. They're not far away. And under Coach Ott, they're doing really well. The question really is, do you think you can afford, under this new CBA with the 2 different aprons, putting enough players spending enough money to get enough players around Devin Booker right now under this current construction? I think Jalen Green would maybe be a guy you might want to think to look around because he's got a giant contract as well. But again, I think we'll find out really shortly because those pieces are going to start moving quick, and the free agent market isn't crazy. So you have to basically, do your due diligence early and look to see what kind of pieces you can, especially in the front court, fill around if you're not going to think about moving Devin Booker.
How to find a point guard in the NBA? That's the question moving forward. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We are joined by Cricket. Let me see if I have the right camera here. I never did. Well, no, that's not the one right there.
Big sigh.
Is that it? No, that's not it either.
I'm Dragon Ball. Look, I'm Dragon Ball. Mom?
It's not that one. It's that one. There we go. I don't know why I don't have that one up higher on my screen then, if that's the one right there. Hey, Cricket, how are you?
What's up? How
Cricket,
are
do
you?
you like, first of all, do you like horses?
Yeah.
Okay. How often
Cricket
have you
likes
ridden?
all animals.
I really
for
do.
the record.
How often have you ridden a horse?
Oh, I was little.
Okay, so that's not something you do it as an adult.
No.
A lot.
Right, correct.
Okay. Do you like horse racing?
I loved it. Horses are so beautiful. They're magnificent creatures. I
Right.
love to watch them move.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's cool. I don't watch it. I wouldn't be opposed to it.
Okay, because we got the Kentucky Derby coming up. This week.
Okay.
Yeah. Have you ever been to a Kentucky Derby party, or as J-Dub said earlier, a fancy hat
A
party,
hat party,
on the
yeah.
day that they run the Kentucky Derby?
No, I have not.
You never. Do you have any fancy hats at home?
No.
No.
Nope.
Yep. Just
Just ball
Do you have any
caps?
fancier ball caps?
I
or fancy
do,
ball caps?
I do have maybe one that's maybe, but not fancy.
So what does that got on it? Like what's
my
your
true,
fancy?
My true religion hat.
Ah.
Because it's fancy because it was more expensive than my other hats. That's why it's
How
fancy.
much did that cost? Like $28 versus 15?
The 50.
$50? You bought a $50 ball cap?
Yep.
Oh my gosh.
It's true religion.
I'm not spending $50
Right.
on a ball cap.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
That's why it's fancy.
You better you better read us something that's about money management.
I won't tell you what I spend on jeans from True Religion. But anyway.
Oh boy.
Those are the fancy pants.
That is your brand of choice.
Yes.
Do they do jean tops too? Or?
Yeah, they tops, workout gear.
Oh man.
You should get a pair of True Religion.
Okay. Well,
And a
maybe-
hat.
And a hat.
A $50 hat.
I don't know about that, but
And it was on sale.
from what?
75.
Oh my god. 70 no. I'm not paying $75 for a ball cap.
There's a big spring sale.
It better have
Diamonds.
diamonds and a tap or something on the side of it for me to spend $75.
A built-in like headlamp or something fancy.
Something lights, whatever, everything. Yeah, crickets.
Yeah.
God. Whoa. So what's our quote today, Cricket?
Nothing's ever easy. If it is, it ain't worth it.
You got to wait for your music.
Oh, sorry. Oh, I was supposed to have a dramatic pause.
One more time. Nothing's ever easy.
If it is, it ain't worth it.
Nothing's ever easy. If it ain't worth it. I would say that sounds like Monty Williams of the Suns, that he would say something like that. Everything you ever want's on the other side of hard. Who said that?
Dolly Parton.
Dolly Parton.
She's such a sweetie.
Wow.
It's from Dolly Parton's song, Tell Her My Life in Lyrics.
Nice. All right. Go Dolly.
Yeah, Dolly.
There we go. All right. Cricket's got quotes every single day here at 4:12 in the afternoon. Don't miss it. Right now, she's getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
And from the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collisions reported wreck in Green Valley, Mission, and Helmet Peak Road in Mission. Oro Valley, Oracle near McGee, north of McGee at Oracle and Cool Drive. Some slowing on Oracle at McGee and slowdowns, 22nd Street and Park Avenue. 58, the overnight low, chance of rain this evening. Sunny, 86 tomorrow and 88 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. Spring into deals at Lowe's. Shop Stay Green Premium 2 cubic feet mulch, 5 bags for $10. Plus, get up to 35% off select major appliances. Valid through 5/6. Mulch offer excludes Alaska and Hawaii while supplies last. Selection varies by location. See Lowe's.com for more details.
The jungle has moved to afternoon, so grab your best Tucson tuxedo and join us on the Jim Rome Show weekdays from 1 to 3 p.m. right here on the flagship home of your Arizona Wildcats, Wildcats Radio 1290.
We all know just because gifts for loved ones can look like flowers, a spa day, or maybe even planning date night. But what about something that will truly last and protect your loved ones along the way? I'm talking about life insurance. I called SelectQuote to secure our coverage and couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. And with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. With monthly payments less than the cost of a bouquet of flowers, this is the perfect time to make sure your family is protected.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-596-2626 or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-596-2626. 1-800-596-2626.
Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code INSTANT to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code INSTANT to borrow up to $10,000. Use code INSTANT to borrow up to $10,000.
Are your investments in the right accounts? What's best, traditional or Roth? Are you receiving all available tax deductions? Are you paying as little in tax as you can? These are all questions you can't afford to get wrong. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth, and in many cases, it's not what you make, but it's what you keep that makes the real difference. Trajan Wealth and Trajan Tax work closely together exclusively. No more guessing about whether you should do a Roth conversion, or if maxing out your 401k is really the best option. Our nationally recognized fiduciary advisors and CPA team work in tandem to make sure your tax strategy works with your investment strategy. We'll even do your tax preparation. One team, one strategy. Isn't it time for a second opinion? Call Trajan today.
520-200-1600. That's 520-200-1600.
Trajan Wealth, an SEC-registered investment advisor. Additional services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures and accreditation at TrajanWealth.com.
Hey, it's David Kelly, DK on the Sports Tip. Don't forget to download the Wildcats Radio 1290 app. It slaps. We've got full coverage of the Wildcats, the Suns, the Cardinals, the Diamondbacks, Pima College. Download the Wildcats Radio 1290 app today.
Cactus RV, offering the most affordable pre-owned RVs, travel trailers, and toy haulers in Tucson. We offer consignments on RVs, travel trailers, trucks, cars, and SUVs. Sell without the hassle and let Cactus RV do it for you. Cactus RV is also a local independent service center, so they can help keep your RV, travel trailer, or toy hauler in pristine condition and ready to sell or hit the road for your next adventure. A true one-stop shop. Call now, 888-2244. Visit cactusrv.com or visit us on Romero, just north of Prince.
My name is Christine, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, was a healthy 34-year-old, and 3 months later, he was gone. Thankfully, he had life insurance. Ethos made it so easy. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. 100% online, no medical exam. Life insurance didn't take away the loss, but it did give us the space to just grieve.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. Ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams sale and get 30% off duration, woodscapes, and super deck products May 1st through the 11th. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
Kohl's has Mother's Day gifts that feel like a treat because moms deserve something nice. Preferably something that doesn't involve snack duty, carpool, or reminding anyone where their shoes are. Make her day with 25% off across the store during Kohl's Friends and Family Sale at KohlsandKohls.com. It's just too bad you can't buy her the one thing she really wants, a nap. Select styles, 25% offer ends May 3rd. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
On top of home and auto, Progressive protects your boat, RV, and motorcycle so you can explore the unknown.
Actually, we just take the RV to the same campground every year.
Well, maybe you can catch your own dinner on your boat.
Oh, we can actually get pizza delivered there from this brick oven place we love.
Will you at least try a new topping?
Honestly, probably not. We kind of have a go-to order.
Fine. Just bundle home or auto insurance with your outdoor vehicles with Progressive and stay protected when you go, I guess, where you've gone before. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
All right, well, the Arizona Diamondbacks on the road in Milwaukee, and yesterday's game went pretty well, starting with this guy making us some money last night.
Here's Ildemaro Vargas, who's already got his hit. A bloop single to the left in the second, so the streak has been extended again. And he's going to add one more just for good measure. Vargas 2 for 2. He cannot be stopped.
Diamondbacks download. Baseball talk.
Yeah, he cannot be stopped for sure. He got that. So that was already 2 hits. So that's really all we needed from Mr. Ildemaro Vargas yesterday, because we had him 1.5 hits, RBIs, runs scored in that game last night. So we got the 2 hits, but we tacked on some insurance because he would score on this play.
Arenado turned 35 years old earlier this month. Torey Lovullo pointed out to us over the weekend that he might be on the backside of his career, but Arenado is playing as hard as any player they have. And the bat has really come around nicely. Arenado hammers it way back and gone. Nolan Arenado, and the Diamondbacks have the lead.
Wow, was that loud?
Crushed.
Oh, boy, is he hot right now.
4 consecutive hits, 2 home runs in the inning against Sproat.
Just absolutely crushed.
Now, good for the Diamondbacks, bad for me because I had Sproat on my fantasy team, so I kind of needed him to do a little bit good, but
shouldn't you be required to know how to pronounce a person's name to draft them?
Right. Exactly. Found that out yesterday. Sproat.
It's the age-old question, DK. Like, how do I go full bore into my fantasy team when one of my guys is playing against my team I rooted for growing up?
Yeah, exactly. All right, let's. So that was yesterday. Yesterday went well. Today, not so well.
2-1 on William Contreras. Soroka to the plate. Down the left field line. This is trouble. It is down and into the corner. Mitchell sent around third. There's going to be a play at home. The throw is late. It's an RBI double for Contreras.
The series for William. He's driven in 3. And the pitch. And a fly ball to center. This is hit well. Thomas is back. Track. Wall. Gone. William Contreras. His 3rd home run of the season. It is a 2-run shot. And it is 5-0 Brewers.
Yeah, today was really ugly in Beer City. William, I have that. Speaking of fantasy, I've got apparently maybe I have the wrong Contreras brother. I have Wilson Contreras, the catcher for the Red Sox on my fantasy team. I looked up and I saw Contreras getting all these hits, and I thought that was my guy, but it was not my guy. I have Wilson, not William. William went 4 for 4 today, 3 runs scored, 4 RBIs, including that home run. Diamondbacks lose 13-1 to wrap up their series in Milwaukee. Mike Soroka, who had been very, very good, not so good in this outing here. He was 4-0 coming in. 3 innings, 10 hits, 8 earned runs, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts. So that's like 3 starts. If you look at the start by, I think it was Merrill Kelly over the weekend, and then Ryan Nelson last week, that was like 3 starts in which the leadoff pitcher has really put the Diamondbacks in a huge hole.
Diamondbacks download.
Yeah.
Baseball talk.
There you go. All right, let's talk some. Let's get off that and move to the pitch. FC Tucson starts their summer run this season. Let's chat with the head coach of your FC Tucson, Sebastian Pineda, joins us now. Sebastian, so glad that you could join the program. It is going to be May this weekend, which means it's time to play some soccer. It seems like it hasn't been that long ago. How excited are you to get the fellows back out there on the pitch?
Thanks for having me. No, I mean, I think you can hear in my voice the excitement is real. It's real. We have been working very hard putting this team together, and we had that loss in players at the end of the year last year, and we want to come back and try to prove a point. And yeah, players are ready, staff is ready, club is ready. We're excited.
All right, so obviously this is still, you're going to have the exhibition game coming up, the friendly this weekend. The actual conference part of the schedule is still several weeks away. So where is your squad right now? Are guys still starting to come in, or are we, what are you going to be working with this weekend versus what you'll have when you guys get out there and to start USL 2 play?
Yes. So what we usually do for this game is we try to have a lot of local players that we for like as training players throughout the summer, and some of them, in the future might become players in the roster. And we do have some players in the roster that are going to be in town, which I'm excited about. But most of the players are still in their colleges, in their finals and stuff like that. But even the guys that are far away are excited of what's happening. They have been texting me, calling me, what's this, and so they understand the importance of this first game of the season, and we're very excited about it.
So what's the roster going to look like this year, Sebastian? I know in recent years we've had several of the kids from Pima have been a part of the lineup. Is there still going to be that element to it? And then who are some of the other top players you like that you have coming in this year?
So for us as a club, it's important to have the local guys mixed with the guys from international guys that come in, and this year is the same thing. It's guys that I have worked with through the academy, guys that are Pima, or guys that I worked with before that went to different schools that they're back for the summer. So that part of it is there, and I love giving those guys the opportunities. And on the other side, we got all the international guns, as I call them, coming from big programs like West Virginia. We got guys from Rutgers. We got guys coming from Kentucky. You got guys coming from just different schools that are very important at the soccer level, in the collegiate level. So, yes, that's what I can tell you about the roster this year. It's exciting. There's a lot of attacking power, players that understand what it means to play for FC Tucson, and they want to be here.
So now, obviously, Sebastian, you have a day job because you're also one of the assistant coaches for the U.S. U of A women's team. So you actually can't necessarily get out during the fall and go see a lot of men's games. So what's your process? Are you watching a lot of tape? Or are you? I'm sure you have folks that you're talking to in various parts of the country, other coaches that are telling you, hey, this is a kid you might want to work with this summer. What are those relationships like that allow you to put together the roster that you'll put out there?
Of course. Well, first of all, I'm not with the U of A anymore since January. I stepped down from that position. I got all this stuff going on with the family, but yeah, besides that, there's a lot of connections that we have through my years in the soccer world that you make very good friends, and my friends are now in very good positions in different colleges. And there is also, I got a little scouting network that I go to different coaches or friends, and they tell me they try to talk to this guy or that guy. That guy is looking, and there's also a lot of players trying to reach out to me, and I have to make decisions based on that and what I think is best for the way that we want to play, the way that the club wants players to be represented as well. So it's a little bit of different pieces to it, but it comes together eventually. And this year I was actually able to put it together early February. We only have a couple of spots left for tomorrow's tryout, but it's almost done. It's almost done, the roster.
Sebastian Pineda joining us. He is the head coach, FC Tucson men's side. They'll play their annual exhibition against the Selección Tucson, which is Tucson Select. Number of players, I would imagine. I think it's an adult league here in Tucson, so you'll have some older guys. Nothing wrong with the young guys getting a chance to play some older heads out there.
That's right. That's always good. It's always fun.
And that'll be 7 o'clock. It's really going to be a celebration of soccer here in Southern Arizona this weekend. There'll be the Kelly Pierce tribute match. The ladies will play at 5:30. FC Tucson women against the Kelly Pierce All-Stars. They will retire Kelly's jersey at halftime of that match, and then the men's kickoff. And then we've got fireworks after the men's game. So it's going to be a celebration of Cinco de Mayo. What does Cinco de Mayo mean to you, Sebastian?
Well, I know, I'm from Colombia, so it really doesn't have the meaning, but I have a lot of Mexican friends that has a more important meaning to them. So I respect that, and I try to be part of that celebration for that community.
And you guys just recently signed a really big deal with Vantage West partnership. Their logo is now going to be on the front of the men's jersey, on the back of the women's jersey. What does it mean for you all to have those types of partnerships here in Southern Arizona?
I think it just shows what the front office, JP, and all of them are doing for the club, and the belief that the community is starting to have on what we're trying to do here in the culture that we're trying to build. And having that sponsor is huge for us because it improves all the experience that we give to the players and improves the product that we can put on the field for our fans.
All right, is Colombia in the World Cup this year?
Of course we are. Of course we are. We cannot miss a World Cup with 48 teams. That would be crazy.
What does the national side look like? Are you gonna get to see? Are you racing out to see any games in between your contests this summer?
I try to look into that, but it's hard. It's hard because we got so many games back to back. But we will for sure be supporting the national team as much as we can, and it's cool to see that the World Cup is going to be so close to us. I know the country is going to be just soccer this summer.
Is there a player from the national team growing up that you really loved? Who was your guy growing up?
Oh, back then you had. Who do we have? We have El Pido Valderrama. I don't know if you remember the guy with the afro.
Okay, yeah.
That was one of them. And I think that the most recent one was probably Falcao, Radamel Falcao. He played at Atletico Madrid, Manchester United, Chelsea. He's the top scorer for us. He's probably the one that gets, I can't remember right now.
There you go. Outstanding. And what is you obviously still have a role on the academy side as well. What does that entail for you, and how are you continuing to try to grow things on the youth side?
Well, it's important for me to have a clear picture of what the youth side looks into Tucson, because in the past few years we have been able to give those guys opportunities. So I work very closely with John in that area. He's taking a bigger role with the academy side, and just the important part is to recognize and know where the top players are coming from, and just give them an opportunity as well for them to play for the club. And I think there is a path there now. You're seeing it with DeAndre, with Ismael, with Brandon, all these names that I can tell you that have been through it, and now look at them. They're in different colleges. They're doing well. They come and play for us in the summer. They have important minutes. So it's been very good for us, the academy.
We had Ryan Hall, the women's side coach, on the show earlier in the week. He's an indoor guy. Have you ever played much indoor soccer, Sebastian?
I would say I play a lot of futsal and street soccer back in Colombia. So I got my share of experience with that, but no indoor. I know here you played that indoor that in Maracanã, where it's a little bit bigger the space. I never played that one, but futsal I did play for sure.
Futsal, there you go. All right,
Yeah.
It is the men's and women's FC Tucson this Saturday. It's a celebration, Cinco de Mayo celebration. Ladies will play at 5:30, and then the fellows at 7:15. Fireworks after the second game at 9:15. Get your tickets now. They start at $20. One ticket, 2 matches. FCTucson.com. Soccer community celebration starts the summer on the pitch here in Southern Arizona. Sebastian, appreciate you. Looking forward to this summer, getting out there and seeing your young men play.
Awesome. Thanks for having me, David, and hope to see a lot of fans tomorrow Saturday night. I'm excited.
There we go. Sebastian Pineda, FC Tucson manager. Again, get on out there this weekend to Keno North Stadium. 520-848-1290. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives, your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collision reported Old Spanish Trail on Old Spanish Trail near Freeman. Collision Tanque Verde and Dos Hombres. Wreck in Oro Valley. Oracle near McGee on Oracle north of McGee. Oracle and Cool Drive. Some slowing for traffic both directions on Oracle at McGee. And a collision Mission Road and Helmet Peak. 58, the overnight low, chance of rain this evening, sunny 86 tomorrow and 88 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by Discover. When you hear a good deal, it's natural to do a double take. That's what you might do when you hear Discover will automatically double all the cash back you've earned on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
In Tucson, people believe in hard work and standing by their neighbors. At Cruz & Associates, we believe in doing the same for our clients. If a serious accident leaves you or your loved one injured, we're here to help. Call 520-567-8000. Cruz & Associates, a firm you know, help you can trust.
Here he comes. Surprise! The people above your catering business are doing major construction, and the drilling is only during business hours. It's so loud.
Progressive knows small business owners usually don't like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting personalized discounts on a commercial auto quote with Progressive.
Also, that isn't powdered sugar on the floor. It's plaster from your ceiling.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Kohl's has Mother's Day gifts that feel like a treat because moms deserve something nice. Preferably something that doesn't involve snack duty, carpool, or reminding anyone where their shoes are. Make her day with 25% off across the store during Kohl's Friends and Family Sale at Kohl's and Kohl's.com. It's just too bad you can't buy her the one thing she really wants, a nap. Select styles, 25% offer ends May 3rd. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohl's.com for details.
Oh my gosh, Ted, why are you digging up the yard?
I'm looking for that stupid pipe. The bathroom drain is still clogged.
Shouldn't we call Goodfellas AC and Plumbing? You know, the professionals.
I found the pipe.
Whatever clogs your drains, leave it to the professionals at Goodfellas AC and Plumbing. The choice your family can count on for quick, reliable plumbing service using Permaliner to fix pipes and drains without digging up the yard. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code INSTANT to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code INSTANT to borrow up to $10,000. Use code INSTANT to borrow up to $10,000.
You're listening to the Jim Rome Show.
The Red Sox could not have handled this any worse, nor was Devers ever going to go all Mookie Betts with it and say, I'll do whatever you need. So, The Red Sox, knowing they had a player that didn't want to be there, saw a way to get out from underneath a $250 million commitment and pulled the trigger like the Moneyball team that they have become. Shocking, and then at the same time, not shocking at all.
The Jim Rome Show, weekdays at noon on Wildcats Radio, 1290.
Most financial advisors only manage your money. They refer you out for taxes. They refer you out for estate planning. They refer you out when things get complicated. Did they really vet that person? Or did they meet once, exchange business cards, and call it a partnership? A referral isn't accountability. It's a handoff. When your investments, taxes, and estate plan are built separately, gaps happen, and those can cost money. At Trajan, we didn't build a referral network. We built a family office for all. Wealth, tax, estate. One team delivering coordinated planning, once reserved for the ultra-wealthy. If you want real coordination and not just introductions, call Trajan Wealth today.
Call Trajan today at 520-200-1600. That's 520-200-1600.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
The Pistons avoided elimination last night, beating the Magic 116-109 in Detroit. Cade Cunningham poured in 45 points in the win, and Tobias Harris had 23 of his own. For the Magic, Paolo Banchero also had a 45-point night with 6 3-pointers, but that wasn't enough as the Pistons never trailed in the game and managed to stave off elimination for one more night. Game 6 between the Magic and the Pistons is Friday night in Orlando. I'm Adam Abdallah.
Hey, it's Tyler Reddick from 2311 Racing. Most slot games are a solo lap. Slot Masters on Chumba Casino puts you on the grid with 2 other players. Battle it out over a 2-minute run. Everyone's spinning at once, points stacking up, and the leaderboard updating before the clock hits 0. Are you ready to race? With over 200 casino-style games and new ones dropping every week, there's always something new to line up for. Join the fun at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by VGW Group. No purchase necessary. See terms at ChumbaCasino.com. Must be over 21 and present in the state where it's legal to play.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
First Chiropractic is pleased to announce that Access Health Plans now cover chiropractic care. A referral by your PCP is required. For more information, go to firstchiro.com, the most trusted name in chiropractic care. A proud U of A radio sponsor.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
On the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Beachcoff back to York. York Arista.
Cam York from distance. And the Flyers are on their way to the second round. And it's a beautiful thing.
Cam York breaking the hearts of hockey fans all over Western Pennsylvania last night as the game-winning goal in overtime, 1-0 the final. Flyers wrap up their first-round series with a 4-2 series win over the Pittsburgh Penguins. We asked at the top of the show, is Dragon Ball all right? Is he okay? We should probably check in on him and make sure.
I believe the question is, should
okay.
we call and check in on him?
Exactly. Should we call and check in? So we are doing just that. Dragon Ball joins the show. How you doing there, big fella?
Oh, yeah, I'm doing all right. Doing some spring cleaning around the house, getting anything to distract my my mind from what I witnessed last night. No, it was a great game. It was a great game. The fact of the matter is that that's what the Stanley Cup playoffs are about. I'd argue that is the absolute definition of what you want a series clinching game to look like. it just didn't go the Penguins' way. The Flyers, they've got a young core. They're about a year ahead of their rebuild, as I've been saying, and they certainly looked the part. They were the younger team, and it showed.
What do you
so
like?
Give them all the credit in the world.
You don't like 5-4 double overtime games?
Oof, man, 5-4 double overtime. 0-0 going into overtime, it almost makes the heart that much more of a palpitation concern because you're just like one bad angle is going to be all it takes versus, okay, what's the next bounce going to be that doesn't go our way? But no, 0-0 going to overtime, I mean, you could hear a pin drop in that stadium going into the third period, just wondering who's going to be the one to kind of break the proverbial glass ceiling there. And naturally, it had to get broken at some point. It just happened to be about 58 minutes into the, or not 58 minutes, rather, an extra 18 minutes after the 1 hour mark. So, hey, that's just the way the game is played.
All right, would you have preferred they just got swept, or does it make it that much harder that they won a couple games and maybe had you thinking, well, hey, we've seen this happen before where teams come back from 3-0 down?
No, in hockey terms, I mean, the Flyers are the master of the reverse sweep. They've done it multiple times in their franchise's history. So I've seen my dad enjoy the reverse sweep on the winning side of it. And you don't really start talking about it until you win that game 6. I know that when my dad was witness to it against the Bruins, he didn't say anything about it. He's just like, hey, at least they won 1. Hey, they won 2. They've got at least some fight in them. Then you win that third game. It's like, okay, now we got a chance. Now we have a chance. So I wasn't too hung up on the idea of them maybe coming back and taking the series. Just the fact that they had a couple of games in there, it was good to see. It's going to be interesting to see what the offseason is looking like for this Penguin squad. They definitely have a lot of questions to answer about the big three as well as some other key pieces. But nonetheless, I was very thrilled with that finish. It didn't go my team's way, but it's still a good finish for hockey in regards to having people try to say, hey, the Stanley Cup playoffs are worth watching. You should check them out.
Yeah, how's your little stick hanging in? Did you break your little stick? You didn't break your stick, did you?
No, the stick is still there in the studio.
Oh,
that
it is
stick's
there.
always been in the studio.
Okay.
Yeah, the stick's always been in the studio. I did have my walking stick with
Find
me
the
and was
stick,
using it
J-Dub.
as a hockey stick. It's just above the second shelf behind
okay.
in the back there. But but I had my walking stick and was using it like a goalie stick every once in a while during the overtime, and naturally it didn't end up going the way it needed to.
Hey, do you know how to unclog gutters?
Actually, I just got done installing a reverse osmosis machine in my kitchen sink. So if you need gutters done, I could probably get that done.
What is a reverse osmosis machine?
Basically, it just allows you to have a lot of different sediment and other cleaning filters installed in the water before it actually comes out. So,
So basic science lesson from third grade.
water cleaner.
Osmosis is when mist comes in the air from a big body of water and turns into rain, and that's fresh water. So yeah, reverse osmosis, that's getting fresh water from your tap water that doesn't have fresh water in it because of sediments and stuff like that. I got a question. When are the Penguins going to win a playoff series? Because we all remember, I remember the early 90s, they were so dominant, and you obviously remember, the late teens when they won Stanley Cups. But how long's it been since they won a playoff series?
It's been, I want to say, if I remember the picture they showed during that playoff series against the Flyers, they said it's been since 2015 since they last won a Stanley Cup series. It was the last time they won the Stanley Cup playoff game. So I want to say it's going even beyond the 2015 season. And then all the other Pittsburgh sports, it's similar in the waiting time. You got to wait to the mid-teens for the last playoff successes, including the Pirates having going all the way back, I think, to the 2013 Wild Card Series. So the City of Champions not winning a lot of playoffs games or series, rather, in quite some time. I would hope it comes around, but this is a team that was in discussion, the Penguins, about being in talks for McKenna, which is the big hockey prospect coming up this year in the draft. Now all of a sudden they're in the playoffs, so I'm not sure necessarily where they're going to go in regards to their team building, but it definitely is not going to be a youth movement with as much talent as McKenna could potentially give to this squad moving forward.
All right, well, we're glad you're okay, man. I was worried about you.
Oh yeah, no, I'm good. I'll just make sure to put this conversation into my timesheet since it's my day off. She's having me relive trauma.
There you go. Well, enjoy the work that you're doing on your yard out there.
Well, it's spring cleaning. You got to get the backyard done now before summer makes it insufferable.
There you go. Dragon Ball, Pittsburgh Penguins, Steelers fan, all of that good stuff. And to even make it worse, Paul Skeens got beat up today as well. So hey.
Yeah, you got beat up pretty good against the Cardinals, no less.
I know.
Next time that all the Pittsburgh teams lose on the same day, we'll call you up so we can just, so DK can just make you feel even worse.
If they lose during the draft, I'll be very surprised.
Oh, gosh. There you go. All right, Dragon Ball, enjoy the rest of your day.
All right, will do. Catch you guys later.
Yeah, there we go. Dragon Ball, enjoying his day off. It's good to probably have a day off after your team gets where do the hockey teams go? Do they go to Siberia? Because the basketball teams go to Cancun.
I think hockey players like warm weather and warm water and beaches too. So I don't think they're going to Antarctica. No.
Okay, well they can't go to. We got to come up with a phrase on where to send because it can't be Cancun. It's got to be somewhere else. Punta Cana or someplace like that. We'll send them to Punta Cana.
Are there any warm beach island resorts in Finland?
Aruba? No. Well, no. That's. I'm thinking of Ibiza. That's the only place I know. That's where all the clubs are in Europe there. But I don't know if it's warm there this time of year. So, because I've only heard that people go there in the summertime. We'll have to come on. Maybe that'll be a question of the day. What should be the destination for teams that get eliminated from the NHL Stanley Cup playoffs? And we'll put like 3 or 4. We'll put 4. Destinations out there and let the people vote on it.
According to the interwebs, DK, Las Vegas, Bali, Aruba, and many European cities. There's a lot of places like in the south of France that I would imagine that NHL players are hanging out on a yacht.
I said Aruba, so there we go. Maybe we'll just make it Aruba. All right, DK on the sports tip, 520-848-1290. And much more coming up for you in the 5 o'clock hour. Let's see what we got coming up for you in the 5 o'clock hour. We will Kentucky Derby is coming up on Saturday between the two U of A grads, Bob Baffert and Todd Pletcher. They have 5 horses in this race. 5 horses between those two top Hall of Fame trainers. We'll let you hear from both Bob Baffert and Todd Pletcher. Todd Pletcher's main horse is the favorite and on the post. Not exactly where you want to be if you're the favorite, but we will hear from them coming up, and in particular, Todd Pletcher on how he feels from starting at position number 1. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collision Campbell near Broadway reported and backups on southbound Campbell approaching Broadway Boulevard. Other collisions, Thornydale and Hardy, Tancaverde and Paseo Rancho Esperanza, and there's some eastbound slowing. Also wrecks on Old Spanish Trail near Freeman and a collision in Oro Valley, Oracle north of McGee at Oracle and Cool Drive. And for your weather, 58 the overnight low. Chance of rain this evening, sunny 86 tomorrow, 86 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Discover. When you hear a good deal, it's natural to do a double take. That's what you might do when you hear Discover will automatically double all the cash back you've earned on your credit card at the end of your first year with Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
My name is Christine, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, was a healthy 34-year-old, and 3 months later, he was gone. Thankfully, he had life insurance. Ethos made it so easy. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. 100% online, no medical exam. Life insurance didn't take away the loss, but it did give us the space to just grieve.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/save. Ethos.com/save. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Shop the Sherwin-Williams sale and get 30% off Duration, Woodscapes, and Super Deck products May 1st through the 11th. Whether you're refreshing your interior or exterior, we've got the colors to bring your vision to life. And with delivery, getting everything to your door is easier than ever. Shop online to have it delivered or visit your neighborhood Sherwin-Williams store. Retail sales only. Some exclusions apply. See store for details. Delivery available on qualifying orders.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do, with press conferences, coaches shows, and play-by-play.
It is over. Cats have won it.
We bring you all the stories, highlights, and analysis of your Arizona Wildcats. We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code INSTANT to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code INSTANT to borrow up to $10,000. Use code INSTANT to borrow up to $10,000.
Nobody covers your Cats like we do.
Headed for the corner, he's in. Touchdown, Arizona. On the break, slap it home. Here comes the throw home. He slides, he's safe. The Cats are champions.
We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
Is your financial advisor managing your risk or just a spreadsheet? Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. Many financial advisors rely on target date funds, which are one-size-fits-all portfolios that don't know your name, your family, or your goals. And that passive management can leave you dangerously exposed. At Trajan, we look at the whole picture, not just the stocks everyone else buys, but the private market opportunities most advisors ignore. And as fiduciaries, we build a strategy around you, coordinating your investments, tax strategy, and estate into one cohesive plan. Your financial life deserves more than just a generic portfolio. Real planning isn't a stack of statements. It's the confidence of knowing where your income will come from for the next 30 years. Good enough isn't good enough for your family. It's time for a change. Schedule your complimentary consultation today.
Call Trajan today at 520-200-1600. That's 520-200-1600.
Advisory services through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor. Private equity investments require accreditation. Other services through Trajan Estate and Trajan Tax. Additional disclosures at TrajanWealth.com.
There are many reasons you might need Dorado Rockin' Materials. A few bare spots in the yard. The driveway needs filling in. Or it could be that the yard needs a whole makeover. Whatever the reason, if your yard has the summertime blues, Dorado Rockin' Materials has everything from sand to boulders and every rock and pebble in between. If you need help spreading it, we have options for that too. Call 400-4233. Dorado Rockin' Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Tuned to DK on the Sports Tip weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Journalism is on the move as they turn for home, and Sovereignty is coming with him on the outside. The two of them go right by with a furlong to run. Journalism and Sovereignty, nose to nose, down to the last 16th of a mile. Sovereignty has taken the lead. Journalism is second toward the inside. Baeza is third, but it will be Sovereignty to rule the Kentucky Derby. Journalism and Baeza were next. Final Gambit was fourth. The final time was 2:02.31 seconds.
That's why they call it the fastest 2 minutes, the most exciting 2 minutes in sports. 2:02 last year for Sovereignty to win the Kentucky Derby. And who will it be this year? Who will emerge triumphant at Churchill Downs? Well, the fun thing about this is your two Arizona Wildcat trainers literally have 5 chances to win this race. 5 horses in this race between Todd Pletcher and Bob Baffert. Baffert back for his second Kentucky Derby after he was banned for a number of years.
Every self-respecting horse enthusiast always bets based on the names, not the genes or how they look, when they're all lathered up and getting ready to go. Litmus Test is one of Bob Baffert's horses this year. That's a good one.
Yeah, and Potente or something of that nature.
Yeah.
Is the other one?
Potente
is the other horse he's got. So Renegade is running from the post position, and that's one of Todd Pletcher's horses. He is the favorite at 4-1 right now. I'll have to pull up. Let me pull up BetMGM here and see what our partners over at BetMGM have going on right now in terms of that. Of course, it's not easy to find, so I'll have to come back to that. But he is 4-1, and then Pletcher also has. Let's see. Come on, search for me. It's not searching for me. Okay.
He's got Renegade. And he's got, Baffert's got Potente. And then he has, I don't see any others in the field.
I thought Pletcher had more than one.
I'm on the official Kentucky Derby webpage and it has the whole field and the leaderboard.
So Potente is going to run out of the 14th position for Bob Baffert. And then his other horse, Litmus Test, is coming from the 4 position. All right, let's hear from both of these guys who are, again, both products of the racetrack industry program over at the University of Arizona. Yes.
Apparently, they just lost a horse a couple days ago.
Ooh.
The son of Into Mischief was the early favorite, but then was removed from training in late January because of bone bruising, and that was a Pletcher. That was a Pletcher horse as well.
Okay. So maybe he only has one. I thought he had 3, but maybe he only has 1. Let's hear from. In fact, let's hear from Todd Pletcher, since his horse has the post position. And JW, you looked it up. It's been a long time since a horse won from the post position.
Yeah, Ferdinand. That was back in 1986, DK, is the last horse to win from the number 1 post position
Ferdinand.
spot. Yeah, Ferdinand.
Jeez, that's a long time ago.
40 years.
Wow. Let's hear from Todd on getting the post position, the unluckiness of that, and how he believes Renegade will deal with that.
Well, it seems we've been drawing it quite a bit. I think this is, 3 out of the last 5 or 6. I think they've got to, be ready to be pushed around a little bit, take some kickback. I think the good news is 2 of those were with IRAD, and, so maybe he learned a little something on Mo Donegal and Known Agenda. The good thing about Renegade, I think he's got that turn of foot, so when IRAD needs him to accelerate, he can be there for him.
When Ferdinand won in 1986 from the number 1 post position, it was, in fact, the last win for legendary jockey Bill Shoemaker. You'll remember Bill Shoemaker. He rode some horses back in the day. He was the jockey that day when Ferdinand won from the post position.
And Whitney Houston's album, Whitney Houston, was top of the charts.
Oh, gosh. Renegade has never finished out of the money. How about that?
Yeah.
In 5 starts, he's never finished out of the money, placing twice and showing once. Placing, obviously, is second. Showing is third. Do I have that right? Win, place, show. Yeah. Placing is second. Showing is third. It's like gold, silver, bronze. And he won both his starts this year, including the Arkansas Derby, which is a major run-up to the Kentucky Derby about 1 month ago. So
I know what Coach Tommy Lloyd's pick is.
Ooh.
It's number in the 5 spot, Right to Party.
Right to Party. You got to fight for your right to party. Somebody's got to ask Tommy if he's got money on that. I don't know if Tommy bets, but maybe. So, again, the Bob Baffert has a pair of long shots in the field. He's got a record 7 Derby wins. No one has ever won more Kentucky Derbies than Nogales' Bob Baffert. Litmus Test is 30-1. He finished 7th at that Arkansas Derby that was won by Renegade. Potente is 20-1. He finished 2nd in the Santa Anita Derby. So Happy won that and he is in the race as well at 15 to 1. Litmus is starting 4th. Potente is starting 14th. Bob Baffert says neither one of these horses are going to be leading this field early.
My horse, they're not going to be on the lead. I think Litmus Test, last time we took the blinkers off, I think he'll be maybe up close, but he needs a target to run at. Depends how he breaks, and he looks pretty good right now. He's actually back to where we had him when he won the Los Alamos Futurity, which he needed to. And Potente, last time he found himself in the lead because he broke so well, and he was there, and we really didn't want to be in that spot, but he didn't want to strangle him back. So, going a mile and a quarter, I think, I don't know where he's going to be, but the main thing is to get out of the gate and get him in a nice groove, and save ground, around the first turn and see what happens.
All right, we'll see what happens. Some of the other names: Albus, Entrepido, Commandment, Dan and Bourbon, So Happy, The Puma, Wonder Dean. I like this one, Incredibolt.
Mm-hmm.
How about that? Incredibolt. Yeah, that's a good one. Chief Wallaby, Emerging Market, Pavlovian. That's a good one. Pavlovian. I like that.
Probably got a lot of bells in that stable, huh?
6 Speed. That's not a bad one. Further Ado, Golden Tempo, Great White, Ocelli. That's a good one there. Ocelli is 50 to 1, so he's probably not going to win. But Ocelli, this is a very Tucson sounding horse. Corona de Oro, like Canyon de Oro. Corona de Oro,
gold, right?
Yeah. Robusta is the other one. Robusta.
On what Mr. Baffert said there, like the wire-to-wire thing is so rare. Like there's so few horses in the history of the Derby who have led from start to finish. It's like 10%. And this is the 150th, something like that.
Yeah.
So especially, what they're talking about, there's always so much congestion on the inside. That's the biggest issue with being too close, on the inside. But yeah, you don't necessarily want your horse starting strong. That's rarely the horse that finishes those races in the front.
Right.
It's always that big kick at the end.
So we'll see what happens. The fastest and most exciting 2 minutes in sports. It is the 152nd running of the Roses at Churchill Downs. Who will emerge? So I said 5. It's actually 3. 3 horses between the two alums of the University of Arizona Racetrack Industry Program. Bob Baffert with 2 horses, Todd Pletcher with 1, and Pletcher's horse is the favorite. Who do you got on Saturday? Who are you betting on Saturday? 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. I know Rito Park used to have a big deal every year. I don't know that. I have not heard that they're having the big horse racing party. Where's the big horse racing party this weekend? If you're throwing, are you throwing the big horse racing party this weekend? If I wanted to go, I'm going to be tied up with, I hope I'm going to be. I imagine I'm going to be. I never want to say for sure because it's athletics, but Arizona men's tennis will play Friday against Northern Arizona. If they win, they'll play Saturday in the second round of the NCAA tournament, and I'll be out there if they win on Friday. So you never want to count your horses, as they used to say, or your chickens before they hatch or whatever. But yeah, if the Wildcats dispatch of Clemson or Ole Miss quickly, and I can get to see the race, because I think it usually starts around 3:30-ish our time, somewhere in that neighborhood. Maybe I might be an hour.
It depends how unruly the horses are getting in. That's really what takes a lot of time.
But I might try to race over to your horse racing party. If you're having one, let us know. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. And what if you are one of the ladies that listens to the show? I want to hear about your hat. I want to hear about your fancy hat that you're going to be wearing on Saturday for the annual Kentucky Derby.
Top Gun.
Top Gun.
Top Gun was the #1 box office movie the last time that a horse won from the first position.
You said that was 1987?
May of 1986.
Yeah, so I would have been, I would have been graduating from high school.
Yeah.
that then.
Apparently, the Cork has been doing Kentucky Derby parties the last 4 or 5 years.
Joe Mitchell checks in on the text groove. He says, DK, you hit it out of the park with the interview involving Jim Anderson. Great question leading to an inside look at the players and coaches, their daily routine and practice objectives, true behind-the-ropes tournament insights, and so many other interesting discussion points from this outstanding head coach who himself was a phenomenal interview. Thank you for noting how far back ASU ended up. That was Joe Mitchell, a Wildcat forever in Scottsdale. Joe, appreciate you listening to the show and appreciate that great comment. We love talking to Jim Anderson.
He's the best.
So
I mean,
much fun, yeah.
There's a lot of great interviews we've had over the years here, but Coach Anderson is definitely right near the top.
Such a cool dude. Such a cool dude. Enjoy going out there and being a part of their events and whatnot. Unfortunately, we couldn't get out there for the second men's event that they had over at Tucson Country Club because it kind of was right there in the run-up of us leaving to go to San Diego for the NCAA tournament. But, yeah, it's always great to be out at their events when they play here locally and you get a chance to be out in the region. I remember the last one. He talked about the Pac-12s. I remember when the Pac-12s were at the gallery back in, I think it was 2014, I believe it was, and I was out there for covering that for TV, traipsing my camera up and down the gallery, shooting stuff that day, and so it'll be fun. Get out there again. It's a free event out of the gallery to get a chance to see the NCAA regionals. A lot of great teams, I'm sure, are going to be out here. We'll find out who those teams are going to be, and the Wildcats hopefully will be able to finish in the top 5 and get into the championships. So that'll be a whole lot of fun. All right, DK on the sports tip, 520-848-1290 is the number. We've dove into a lot of things. We've still got some more to come, so stick with us. Cricket is always getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s. She has got your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. With collisions that are reported, working wrecks on Tanque Verde at Paseo Rancho Esperanza, some eastbound slowing. Earlier wreck on Old Spanish Trail near Freeman. Also, we've got backups Ajo and Mission, southbound and westbound slowing. More slowing at Broadway and Campbell, westbound and southbound. 58, the overnight low. There is a chance of rain this evening. 86 and sunny tomorrow and 85 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by My Doctor Now, your same-day family doctor.
Never wait to see your family doctor again. At My Doctor Now, you don't need to take time off work or even schedule ahead. Open 7 days a week. It's your family doctor. Available same day, every day, guaranteed. Go to My Doctor Now, your same-day family doctor.
It's DK on the sports tip. Did you hear what we were talking about? The kids who actually have the money to go out there and play tennis. Why haven't we produced any of them? DK on the sports tip, Monday through Fridays at 3, right here on Wildcats Radio, 1290.
Kohl's has Mother's Day gifts that feel like a treat because moms deserve something nice. Preferably something that doesn't involve snack duty, carpool, or reminding anyone where their shoes are. Make her day with 25% off across the store during Kohl's Friends and Family Sale at KohlsandKohls.com. It's just too bad you can't buy her the one thing she really wants, a nap. Select styles 25% off or ends May 3rd. Some exclusions apply. See store or Kohls.com for details.
On top of home and auto, Progressive protects your boat, RV, and motorcycle so you can explore the unknown.
Actually, we just take the RV to the same campground every year.
Well, maybe you can catch your own dinner on your boat.
Oh, we can actually get pizza delivered there from this brick oven place we love.
Will you at least try a new topping?
Honestly, probably not. We kind of have a go-to order.
Fine. Just bundle home or auto insurance with your outdoor vehicles with Progressive and stay protected when you go, I guess, where you've gone before. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank. Member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code INSTANT to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code INSTANT to borrow up to $10,000. Use code INSTANT to borrow up to $10,000.
Is your financial advisor offering you up to a 30% upfront bonus? Are they promising you up to 10% growth per year guaranteed for your retirement income? If not, you need a new financial advisor. I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. If you plan to retire within the next 10 years, don't wait only to find out it's too late. I've seen hard-working folks like you retire only to be required to go back to work, all because their advisor told them guarantees like these were too good to be true. They're not. That's up to $30,000 up front or up to $10,000 per year on $100,000, all guaranteed for retirement income. Don't work when you're supposed to be retired. And if any financial advisor tells you it's too good to be true, they simply don't have the options we do. Call Trajan today at 321-4100.
Annuity guarantees are based on the claims paying ability of the issuing insurance company.
Think of waking up with energy, standing tall and feeling free. Think First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
First Chiropractic is pleased to announce that Access Health Plans now cover chiropractic care. A referral by your PCP is required. For more information, go to firstchiro.com, the most trusted name in chiropractic care, a proud U of A radio sponsor.
First Chiropractic, good health is to enjoy.
We bring you all the news and stories of your Arizona Wildcats. Be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at Wildcats Radio 1290 for the latest highlights and commentary. Your home for U of A athletics, Wildcats Radio 1290.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports. The Division I college lacrosse tournament begins next week, and while North Carolina is the defending champion, keep an eye on Northwestern. The Wildcats boast a 15-3 record, have won 10 games in a row, and last weekend they grabbed their 4th straight Big Ten tournament championship. Northwestern is led by head coach Kelly Amante Hiller, who won her 8th NCAA championship with the program in 2023. The Wildcats are hosting the Final Four this year, and after losing in the last 2 national title games, Hiller's squad is heating up for another deep postseason run.
Such a cool thing to see, the power of growth and belief and we have an opportunity now to go into the NCAA tournament and continue to grow and believe in the group.
The D1 Lacrosse Tournament Selection Show is this Sunday at 9 p.m. Eastern. With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Jody Jackson on Westwood One.
1 in 4 Americans have a disability. I'm one of them. I'm also a working mom who cares deeply about making sure every child with a disability thrives by getting their access needs met. We've got a trusted ally by our side. Easter Seals provides children and families the foundation for lifelong success through early learning programs, skills training, and prep for college and career. That's my Easter Seals. Make it yours. Join us at easterseals.com.
If you love to travel, Capital One has a rewards credit card that's perfect for you. With the Capital One Venture X card, you earn unlimited double miles on everything you buy. Plus, you get premium benefits at a collection of luxury hotels when you book on Capital One Travel. And with Venture X, you get access to over 1,000 airport lounges worldwide. Open up a world of travel possibilities with the Capital One Venture X card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. Lounge access is subject to change. See CapitalOne.com for details.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Shepard, guarded by Hayes, 3 to shoot, stagnant possession in the corner. Thompson again, found money for Amen Thompson.
Amen Thompson, we had him on our bet board last night. He had been really rolling. So we had him at over 32.5 points, assists, and rebounds. Amen Thompson, 15.7 rebounds, 4 assists, or 7 rebounds, 4 assists. Yeah, he came up, so that adds to 26. So he came up short for us. So we lost on that bet right
The
there.
problem is that this is his third year. Career 54% field goal shooter.
Yeah.
Career.
Right.
And
54.
last night he shot 4 for 14.
Yeah.
You want to know why that is? Because Kevin Durant is not in the lineup again. So he has to take shots late shot clock they normally wouldn't. But yeah, I mean, he fills up the box score as he always does, rebounds, assists. But 4 for 14 for those 15 points didn't quite get to that number.
We did obviously win on Ildemaro Vargas scoring, or he had over 1.5 hits, runs, RBIs, because he had the 2 hits and the run scored. So that was 3. So we did get a win on that one last night. I don't think we did all of our stuff from the night before. So we had the Celtics the night before, which was Tuesday night. We had the Celtics scoring over 112. They didn't even get anywhere close to that and losing to the Sixers 113-97. So we lost on that. Peyton Pritchard did not make 3 3-pointers after he made, 11 in the game prior to that. He made 1, I think, in that game. 3-point shot. He went 1 for 5. If I'm not mistaken, yes, he went 1 for 5 from 3-point.
Yeah, so the 2 games that Peyton Pritchard has gone nuts and had 5 or more 3-point makes in this series, the Celtics have blown out Philly. Yeah. And the 2 games where Peyton Pritchard shot 1 for 6, 1 for 5, they've lost.
So we lost on that one. And we didn't take that one crazy bet. I said, I'm not doing this one. The one crazy bet, I believe it was Matt Chapman for the, I think it's the Giants. Matt Chapman for the Giants. What was it? 2+ hits.
2 and 2, right?
Yeah, 2 hits, 2 RBI, 2 hits, 2 runs, and 2 RBIs. That was on Tuesday night. What did he do? Or Tuesday. What did he do there? Let me look here real quick. He went 0 for 4 and struck out 4 times. So I'm glad we did not take that. I was like, I'm not taking that bet. Even at big time plus money, that's a hard one to win, right there.
2 hits is one thing, but 2 runs, DK, requires your teammates behind you to do some work, right?
Yeah. So we had one that already. We didn't get to the. We didn't take this one. It was on the board, but we didn't take it because by the time I heard it, the game was already over. But it was one of the ones we mentioned with Dragon Ball. They had Paul Skeens today over 17.5 outs recorded. So that means he had to go at least 6 innings, and he only went 5 today. So we only recorded 15 outs. So we did not take that bet because there was a lot of, it's Wednesday or Thursday, I'm sorry. So there's a lot of day games in baseball today. So sometimes we don't get to these until the game is already over. So we didn't take that bet. We did take Shea Langelier of the A's over 1.5 runs, hits, RBIs for Shea Langeliers today in a day game in which the A's played the Royals, and the Royals lost that game to the A's 6-3. So what did Shea do? Shea Langeliers, 3 for 4, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. So we did take that one, and so that came in big time. Hits 3, runs 2, RBI 1. So that's 6. So we won big on that one. Shea Langeliers over 1.5 runs, hits, and RBIs. And the thought process there from our guy Brad Evans was that Nick Cameron, the starter for the Royals today, would be a prime candidate to get beat up, which he did, allowing 5 1/3, or going 5 1/3, allowing 4 earned runs on 9 hits.
That's the Sacramento, Las Vegas.
Yes, and that
A's?
game was in Sacramento today.
Yeah.
So there you go. So we won on Shea Langeliers, and we've got one tonight. Game in progress. We took this one as well. We'll give you what that one was.
I'm Pat Boyle, here to help you beat the bush with Westwood One Sports. Knicks Hawks Game 6, Karl Anthony Towns should continue to feast on the glass. Cat is averaging over 11 rebounds per game in this series, but there's clearly been a shift in the past few games. 17, 10, and 14 rebounds in the past 3 for Cat. Josh Hart is a little banged up with a back contusion. Hart will probably play, but he's failed to pull in double-digit boards the last 3 games. And as a result, Cat is tasked with crashing the glass, going over on his rebounds. I'm Pat Boyle, Bet Smarter and Beat the Books. Download the BetMGM app today.
All right, so that game is in progress right now. Karl Anthony Towns take the over was the play on his rebounds today, and that was what was that? I think it was 12. I'm sorry, 8.
9.
Was it 9?
Yeah, I think
9.
I think that's what he said.
Yeah. Over 9. I'm sorry, it was 10. No, I'm sorry. I'm looking at Jason Tatum. Yeah, 9. It was over 9 RBI or not RBIs, rebounds for
9 total bases.
Yeah,
for Karl Anthony Towns.
I don't even think he could get a hit. So that game right now is at halftime.
Don't listen if you're an Atlanta Hawks fan to this next sentence.
83-36 at the half in favor of the Knicks. Maybe Daryl knew what he was talking about yesterday.
Well,
Holy crap.
Yeah, no, I mean, the Knicks are a legit, they got a legit lineup and roster. They've been banged up and they haven't played. The problem with Cat is so much better. If you watch that game 4, he did all his damage around the basket. Cat gets in trouble when he shoots 10 threes. So as long as Cat's around the basket, guess what? He's going to be getting close to those 9 rebounds and helping his team a lot more. So, yeah, different purpose these last couple of games for the Knicks. Also, the Hawks are a little bit banged up as well tonight, from what I understand. So, yeah, I mean, definitely not a game so far. 40-15 in the first quarter, DK.
Is actually, I'm sorry, actually, Karl's, it was 12.5 at minus 105. Was the last number for Karl, and he has 5, I think, at the half, so we got some work to do there. He only has 5 RBIs. He's made 10 of 10 free throws.
Do you know why?
10 points on 10 of 10 free throws.
It's because the Knicks are shooting 66% from the field,
yeah.
So not a lot of rebounds to go around.
No. So 5 rebounds in the first half. We've got Karl Anthony Towns plus 12.5 or over 12.5, so we need a whole bunch. I don't know if we're going to get that because he may not play the fourth quarter in that game today. So if they win there, that's it for that series. Is that it?
Yeah, Knicks are up 3-2.
Yeah, 3-2.
Yeah.
So there would be no Game 7, and the Knicks would move on to likely face the Celtics, who still need to close out. That game has just gotten started, or is first quarter, midway through the first quarter. Philly leading early 15-14 over Boston. That game is in Philadelphia tonight. So there you go. All right. So you're all caught up on our Westwood One top plays for today because there was a lot of day stuff happening on the baseball side. A lot of those were early plays today. All right. Want to let you hear, so we do have time for this. We've been talking a lot about Devin Booker and whether or not it might be time for the Suns to move on from Devin Booker. Well, Matt Ishbia today had his end of the season press conference, and he addressed the talk, which a lot of that is coming from national pundits who believe that maybe this might be the moment for the Suns to do that.
You know what their job is?
Yeah, to create conversation.
To get clicks.
Exactly, to create conversation. Exactly. So let's hear from the owner of your Phoenix Suns on all the talk about whether or not it's time for the Devin Booker era to end here in the desert.
This year we saw a different Devin Booker in the playoffs, and granted that was against a strong defensive team who had multiple players built to slow him down. But would you have liked to have seen him force his will a little bit more in that series?
So Devin Booker's our franchise player. Devin Booker is everything that we want here in Phoenix as a leader, as the star player, in the community, on the court, off the court. I think people don't realize the gravity he brings to a basketball game. Of course, would I like Devin Booker to make a higher percentage of this shot or this shot? You can go through all those details, but the truth is, Devin Booker's a winner, and he cares and does all the little things that maybe the normal eyes don't see and catch. He's a leader on and off the court, but he does all the little things from rebounding to defense to understanding the other team's plays, and he's also the main focal point of every team we play, which makes it so it's easier for Jalen or Dylan or Colin or Mark or whoever else is on the court, right? And so I think that, when you're the main focal point and people are attacking you all the time, it's not as easy as it seems. With that being said, I feel like Devin Booker is a star player, a superstar player, and our franchise player, and we're going to continue to build around him exactly as we have been. And the best part about Devin Booker is I think he's phenomenal and obviously an all-star, and he wants more. He wants to be better. He wants to get better in every aspect, and he's going to continue to work on his game. So when I talk about player development, of course we're going to talk about Kaman and Rasheer and Ryan and Oso and all the young guys. But Devin Booker's going to get better this summer and next year. And so he feels great about what he's done, and at the same time he wants more. And I'm 1,000% behind Devin Booker always. And so no, the answer is no. I don't need more from him besides what he wants more for himself. And he's going to continue to develop and continue to get better and continue to lead our team as the franchise player.
Matt, national media has no problem demanding that you trade Devin Booker at some point. So are you never as an owner? Is it not right now? Is it I'll listen, but probably not? Where are you, again, for the 400th time on the future of Devin Booker as a Son?
Yeah, Devin Booker's our franchise player. I love Devin Booker. Devin Booker loves being here. Our coach loves Devin Booker. Our GM loves Devin Booker. Devin Booker's going to be here. Devin Booker's going to lead us to a championship here in Phoenix. That's what he's going to do. And we're going to build the right team around him. He's going to get better, just like I'm going to get better, just like everyone is going to get better at our organization. And at the same time, Devin Booker is who we want here. And he's great for the city, great for the community. I'll ride into a fire with Devin Booker, and I'll do it proudly. And we'll go anytime, and he's going to have my back, and I'm going to have his back, and Devin Booker's our guy. So the national media, I've learned you guys actually are in the weeds a little bit more with what we do. The national media just says stuff to say stuff sometimes, and people say stuff, and sometimes I like to respond, and sometimes I don't because it's just ridiculous. But Devin Booker's not getting traded. Devin Booker's our franchise player, and like I said, we're going to win a championship here with Devin Booker, and I'm excited to do it, and I'm excited to be next to him when we do that.
What do you mean sometimes you like to respond? Come on, Matt. Matt Ishbia likes to respond all the time when people talk about
the first time Matt Ishbia as owner got in the limelight. You remember that one? It was Denver Nuggets versus Phoenix Suns, and the ball bounced over to him, and he was sitting courtside, and he picked it up and impeded the play, and Joker almost had a fight with the Suns owner. Remember that?
Yeah.
They had to explain to Joker at the end of the game or during a timeout who that actually was, but yeah, he's very heavily involved, and we all know that from his Michigan State days. He's a basketball junkie.
Some guy picked up the ball. Yes.
Yeah, no, and
some guy is the owner of the team, brother.
Joker's brothers were like right behind him, ready to cause some mischief.
Oh man, great stuff. Well, there you heard it from the owner of the Phoenix Suns, Matt Ishbia. Devin Booker ain't going nowhere. We are going to win championships.
Now,
with Devin Booker.
Quick question. Loyalty is amazing. In 11 years, franchise all-time leading scorer. And from a business perspective, DK, going into the offseason, isn't the answer of like Devin Booker is our franchise player, he's our best player on our team, and we're opening to making any adjustments whatsoever to improve our like basically closing the door is what he just did there. There's no chance that they could even use any kind of leverage or whatever. I would love to see. How rare is it these days, DK, to see a player start and finish their careers as a multi all-star appearance type guy in one uniform? Like, it's so rare. So I would love to see Devin Booker. And I think from the Suns' perspective, if there's a situation where you can get two, all-star level players that fit two needs that you have, because we all know the biggest problem with the Suns roster construction is a lot of guys that do the same damn thing. Right? It was the same thing with Bradley Beal and Devin Booker. KD and Devin Booker both do the same thing. Jalen Green is a very similar player to Devin Booker. So, yeah, they just need to get away from getting the same guys on the roster, get some defensive specialists and a couple of lob threats and a point guard. That's what they really need.
How to find a point guard in the modern NBA. 520-848-1290. If you have thoughts on how to find a point guard in the modern NBA, would love to hear from that. From you. All right, final segment coming up. We have your Casino del Sol replay and a little bit more for you as we head into the weekend or the beginning of the weekend phase of our lives. DK on the Sports Tip. Cricket getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5. She's got your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together. Collision reported Harrison and Brecky. Brecky Road and Harrison reported crash, a hit and run. Earlier collision, Tanque Verde and Paseo Rancho Esperanza. Some slowing for traffic on Swan at Grant. Alvernon and Grant Road also busy with road work at the intersection. 58 the overnight low. Chance of rain this evening. 86 sunny tomorrow and 84 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by the Hartford Auto Insurance.
Wait until you hear this. You could save hundreds by switching to AARP Auto Insurance from the Hartford. Visit trusthartford.com. The Hartford, your protection is our passion. The Hartford Insurance Group, Inc. pays royalty fees to AARP for the use of its intellectual property. AARP and its affiliates are not insurers. Savings vary.
Shh, here he comes. Surprise! The people above your catering business are doing major construction, and the drilling is only during business hours. It's so loud.
Progressive knows small business owners usually don't like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting personalized discounts on a commercial auto quote with Progressive.
Also, that isn't powdered sugar on the floor. It's plaster from your ceiling.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
A multi-billion-dollar settlement is paying claims for up to 21 years. If you were exposed to weed killers at work or at home, your rights are affected. If you or your family has or had non-Hodgkin lymphoma, you could receive $6,000 to $165,000 or more. This settlement impacts you even if you're not sick because this blood cancer can take 10 to 15 years to appear. If you stay in the settlement, you give up your right to sue. Learn more at weedkillerclass.com or call 888-403-8201. Paid for by the Roundup Settlement.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code INSTANT to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code INSTANT to borrow up to $10,000. Use code INSTANT to borrow up to $10,000.
Consistently beating industry benchmarks by over 25% isn't a fluke. It's Cumulus Digital. Smarter marketing with proof. We show you exactly who saw your ad. That kind of precision is why more than 4,000 businesses partner with us every month, whether they need one product or a full digital strategy. Visit cumulusdigital.com today because you're not average, and your marketing results shouldn't be either. That's cumulusdigital.com.
Don't miss out on any of the action.
Somebody broke a box, a rare Pokemon card, Gengar. Is that a character? Gengar?
Gengar.
I shouldn't say this because you all go running back to my office trying to pick off my Pokemon cards because they're like all over the place. All right, so I'm going to hang on to this Toxtricity because I think that might be worth something.
Stop touching it.
It's kind of it's kind of shiny.
DK uses polish. It was very effective.
We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
You wouldn't know it, but most financial advisors are put in a box. I'm Jeff Jr. from Trajan Wealth, and I want to provide you a little insight about financial advisors. Most financial advisors have to sell what their company requires them to sell, and many advisors have to only adhere to what's called a suitability standard. A suitability standard is a limited standard of care, not requiring what's sold to be best, just suitable. Advisors with this loose standard often have limited investment and product selection. Trajan Wealth is held to a fiduciary standard, which is the highest standard of care in the advisory business. And that's just one of the many reasons we have billions of dollars under our care and attract clients from other advisors. Raise your standards today and call Trajan Wealth. Call 321-4100. That's 321-4100. Or visit TrajanWealth.com.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
Presented by Chumba Casino, your online casino for plays, spins, and a chance to score. Must be 21 and over. Terms at ChumbaCasino.com. The Rockets once again survived elimination, beating the Lakers 99-93. No team has ever come back from being down 0-3 in an NBA playoff series and won. And the Rockets will have to do it once again without Kevin Durant in Game 6, according to reports. I'm Adam Abdallah.
Baseball is back, and BetMGM, official partner of Major League Baseball, is bringing the high heat all season long. And all season long, you can log into the BetMGM app and receive top-tier promos that put you in the batter's box and up the excitement for America's pastime. Step up to the plate all season with Swing for the Fences, the free-to-play game where every swing could score you rewards. We're talking parlay boost tokens, odds boost tokens, same-game parlay boosts, and even bonus spins all season long. And the action doesn't stop there. Get more out of every at-bat and every inning with MLB same-game parlay boosts. Stack your picks and boost your potential payout. Plus, lock in bigger value with MLB odds boost tokens and MLB parlay boost tokens all season long. More boosts, more swings, more chances to win. Download the BetMGM app and step up to the plate today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. Must be 21 years of age or older. Arizona only. Existing customer offers. Subject to eligibility requirements. See BetMGM.com for terms.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
So tomorrow's game, Arizona baseball and Kansas, which again will start at 4 o'clock here on Wildcats Radio 1290 with Brian Jeffries, is sold out in Lawrence, Kansas, and there are very limited tickets for Saturday and Sunday's games as well. So I don't know. I would imagine they can probably clinch this weekend. I don't know what their magic number is, but I would imagine they probably, because there's like 3 series left to go. So I don't think they're that far ahead. They're in first place, 17-4, best record in conference play that they've ever had, that Kansas has ever had in 21 games in school history. They've won 6 straight Big 12 series for the first time ever heading into this weekend against Arizona.
Yeah, they've had a resurgence lately. Like a lot of Kansas Jayhawk fans, you'll see on all the message boards just talking up. As soon as basketball season ends, DK, they're all about the baseball team these years. The last 3 years more than anything, but not surprised to see them on top. They did make the Fayetteville Regional last year, but it's been a minute. Their only College World Series appearance was in 1993.
Is that right?
Correct.
Oh, wow.
So traditionally not one of those powerhouse baseball programs, but they've been really, really good the last 2-3 years.
They have they've won 13 games in a row at home, I think it is, or they've won 13 games at home. Most home wins in 10 years. When they won 17, so they've got a roll in there right now. Does Kansas baseball? And that is the opponent this weekend. So, yeah, Sunday's game starts at 10 a.m. So it's at 10 a.m. I think earlier in the show we said noon. But that is a 10. So 4 o'clock tomorrow, 12 o'clock on Saturday, and noon on Sunday will be the 3 times for Arizona baseball against Kansas. We'll have all those games coming up for you. Then the Wildcats come home for 4 games next week, the final 4 home games of the conference season. New Mexico midweek game on Wednesday, New Mexico State midweek game on Wednesday, and then the final Big 12 home series against Houston Friday, Saturday, and Sunday of next week, 6, and the Sunday game will be at 11 a.m. We'll be out at High Corbett Field twice next week. We'll be there for Wednesday's game against New Mexico State, and we'll also be out there for Friday's game against Houston. So come on out there and join us early as we get you set for Arizona Wildcats baseball. 520-848-1290. Final chance for you to get in on the show today. Let's go ahead now. We'll go ahead right now and give you your Casino del Sol replay for today.
The Casino del Sol replay is brought to you by Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
All right, we chatted with Jim Anderson, the head coach of the Arizona men's golf team, the most tenured head coach. Tenure? Man, Ricky got 15, 20 years. Old great baseball joke.
I bet you many of our listeners don't know who Ricky Henderson is, unfortunately.
Oh, gosh, they better. The late, great
I just mean
Ricky Henderson.
It's been a minute since he was on the
late,
diamond.
Great Ricky Henderson. I'll explain that joke if you've never heard it coming up later, maybe tomorrow. We talked to Jim Anderson, and they finished second of the Big 12s this past week. They had 6 eagles that they carded. 2 of those eagles came on par 4s. Now, normally you see eagles on par 5s because the way these kids play now, you can get to a par 5 and score in 3. It's not easy, but you certainly can do it.
Remember when they started lengthening all the courses because of that Tiger era where the guys were hitting it so much farther?
But to get an eagle on a 4 usually means you have to hole out from distance. So we asked Jim Anderson exactly how those there were 2 par 4s, one by William Weistrand and one from Tony Zhang over the weekend or this week. And I asked him what went down if those par 4s were long second shot holeouts.
Great question, DK. And there's never a bad 2. There's no such thing as a bad 2, right? So It doesn't matter what the par is, but you love 2 on par 4. And both of these holes, Williams was, I think, round 2, number 18. I didn't catch the number of what he had in, but he probably had about 80 yards, maybe 100 yards in, if I had to guess, on that particular day. And he hooped it from the fairway. And then Tony, I again didn't get the number because Matt was walking with him. All I got was a text that Tony hold out on 3, and knowing that hole 3 was a par 4, I was like, that's even better. It was the final round too, so it was even better. But Tony, that hole, if Tony hit driver like I think he did, he probably had about 60 or 70 yards pitch shot, to a back pin that he probably chased back there, and it released perfectly and just trickled in. So either way, exciting stuff when guys are hooping shots from the fairways. Hopefully we can keep that up in the postseason.
Well, let's hope so for sure. So second place, obviously, in the Big 12 Championships, NCAA Regionals right here in Tucson at the Gallery. That's coming up mid-May, 18th, 19th, and 20th. If fans want to go out and see that, it's pretty easy to do. Jim, what do they need to do? They need to contact the golf course, U of A, to get tickets. How does that work?
Nope, it won't be a ticketed event. So we would welcome any and all, especially Wildcat golf fans or Wildcat fans rather, and even just golf enthusiasts. There will be, 13 or 14 teams here, depending on how the seeding shakes out. There's a good chance we're going to be playing in the top seeded groups, either the 3 seed or the 4 seed. The tee times are early, so hopefully you got some early birds listening too. The 7 o'clock start time on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. But we'll be playing all morning and wrapping up probably around 1 o'clock at Gallery each day. So please, anyone who's interested in seeing some high-level college golf with some great teams who are, earning a chance to punch a ticket to the NCAA finals, that's round 1 and round 2 of our NCAA tournament right here in Tucson. So wear your red and blue or just come out with a golf cap and sunscreen and just take in some really good golf because it'll be a lot of fun to see it.
Today's Casino del Sol replay is brought to you by Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
Yeah, it'll be again May 18th, 19th, and 20th out at the Gallery, the NCAA Regionals for this year. The ladies got their assignment. They're going to be up at Stanford, playing in the Stanford Regionals. So both the golf teams for the ladies. That's 39 consecutive NCAA selections for the Arizona women's golf team. If I'm not mistaken, they are the women's golf team, and there's one other team off the top of my head, have scored every single year of the Directors Cup. The Directors Cup goes back to 1994, and I believe there's the women's golf, and I believe it might be women's gymnastics, are the only 2 teams that have scored every single year in the Directors' Cup. And that's 39 in a row. So that goes back to even before that for women's golf. That is pretty impressive. That's a pretty impressive run that they have been in the NCAA tournament. Just timestamp that every year for the women's golf team. And so they'll be up in Stanford trying to play once again. I believe it's top 6, might be top 6. I believe you have to get in regionals to qualify into the championships. And this year, I think both the championships, both the women and the men, are at the same location out at that Omni La Costa Resort in Carlsbad, California. So that'll be cool. They'll be back to back. The tournaments, I believe, are back to back. The ladies are May 22nd through the 27th at Carlsbad, and then the fellas will come in and take over that course and play their championship right after that. And the dates on that will be May 29th through June 30th. So you'll have, you can go out to Carlsbad and spend the whole week and watch college golf. And I'm sure there's is Carlsbad, is that where we've been talking a lot about the Kardashians this week. Isn't that where they live? Carlsbad?
Bro, you are asking the wrong person. I don't care. I don't care at all about the Kardashians.
It's something with one of those suburban LA communities with a C. That's where the Kardashians live, I think.
I do have an update on basketball, though.
Okay.
103-43.
Oh, wow. Already.
Well, they just went to break, and apparently the Hawks got a couple buckets. So now it's 103-50. But at one point, DK, it was 103-43. That's a 60-point lead at the start of the third quarter.
Okay. Calabasas. Jenny texts in on the text group. The Kardashians live in Calabasas, not Carlsbad. So
yeah, Calabasas is a much fancier sounding place than Carlsbad.
Where is Carlsbad? That is. Now I'm losing my California geography. I think that's Southern California, though, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Carlsbad, yeah.
It's actually near Oceanside and that whole.
So that's
north of San Diego. Yeah,
so
north of San Diego area.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So not even. So Calabasas is the valley. So okay. There we go. All right, we'll get it all straight up. That's gonna wrap up our show for today. Now that we got our geography lesson for the day, Carlsbad, Calabasas. Thanks to Jim Anderson for joining us, Ann Schatz from the Phoenix Mercury, Sebastian Pineda from FC Tucson, for Dragon Ball, for cricket, for JW Madden. My name is David Kelly. That's our time for tonight. Thank you very much for your time. We'll talk to you tomorrow for 1 hour. 3 to 4 ahead of Arizona baseball. DK on the Sports Tip. Have a great night, everybody. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic. With a collision reported, Glen near Swan, some slowing on at Glen and Swan. Also some slowing on Swan at Grant. Usual backups, Grant and Alvernon. Road work at that intersection. Collision Ajo and Mission on Ajo Way east of Mission. Expect westbound slowing. And I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Wendy's new Biggie Deals. Choose one of Wendy's new Biggie Deals. At $4, $6, and $8, pick one of the new Biggie Deals you're craving. For a pretty biggie deal, gotta be Wendy's. U.S. price and participation may vary.
We all know just because gifts for loved ones can look like flowers, a spa day, or maybe even planning date night. But what about something that will truly last and protect your loved ones along the way? I'm talking about life insurance. I called SelectQuote to secure our coverage and couldn't believe how easy and affordable it was. I'm 40, and my $500,000 policy was only $16 a month. My husband's also 40, and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. And with their same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. With monthly payments less than the cost of a bouquet of flowers, this is the perfect time to make sure your family is protected.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-596-2626 or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-596-2626. 1-800-596-2626. Details on example rate at SelectQuote.com.
Thank you to Brett Brennan and your Arizona Wildcats for bringing the cup back home.
Release a note,
dives into the end zone. Touchdown, Arizona.
State champs again.
Yep.
We are Wildcats Radio 1290.
So hot. Hi, can I help you?
Good afternoon. We're with Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team.
But I didn't call yet.
That's how fast we are, man.
Just as I thought, this AC is out.
No, we're not gonna lose it. Come on. Come on. Don't you die on me.
Johnson, get a hold of yourself. Sorry, we take this very seriously.
Wow, you fellas are good.
It's not just a name, ma'am.
It's who we are kind of thing.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code INSTANT to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code INSTANT to borrow up to $10,000. Use code INSTANT to borrow up to $10,000.
Tune in Friday at 6 p.m. as Chip Hale and your Arizona Wildcats travel to Lawrence to take on the first-place Kansas Jayhawks. Catch every game on your home for University of Arizona Athletics. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Did you know collecting sports cards is one of the fastest growing hobbies around? Whether you're looking to start or expand your collection, Showtime Cards is your ultimate destination. As one of the leading card shops in the country, they've been serving our community for over 25 years with the best in sports cards and trading card games. From rare finds to the latest releases, Showtime Cards has it all. Check them out at ShowtimeCards.com or visit them today at 5801 East Speedway. And discover why collectors everywhere trust Showtime Cards for their passion.
Do you need your home repiped? Having trouble with your water heater? Leaking toilet? Have you ever thought about an instant recorded seweroscopy? Then call Economy Plumbing Service at 885-3510. Because if water goes through it or to it, we do it. Economy Plumbing, 885-3510.
Nobody covers your cats like we do. We are the home of your Arizona Wildcats. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
The day shuts down. The games light up. This is BetMGM Tonight on Westwood One Sports.
Hey, welcome on back to BetMGM Tonight here on Westwood One Sports. We bid adieu to Brad Evans. He's off for the rest of the week. And that means we've got 2 solo hours here the rest of this Thursday night. I'm Pat Boyle, and we're brought to you by BetMGM. Make it legendary. Download the app today. Please gamble responsibly. You can watch the show live on YouTube. Just search BetMGM Tonight and hit that subscribe button. You can watch the show live on